Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the Newberry High School football field. It is week 8 of the high school football season. But, Coach, it feels like we are in playoff football with this matchup tonight. Two Titans in the 8-man game on the east end of the U.P. going at it. And what may be the best game anywhere in the state on this Friday night, it's the Pickford Panthers, 7-0, first place in the Great Lakes 8 East, number 2 rated team in terms of playoff points in the MHSAA rankings. And your Newberry Indians, they have been giant killers, not just this season, but in the past. They are one game back at 6-1, and the winner of this ball game going to walk out of here with a conference championship and a possible home field advantage for the opening rounds of the playoffs.
It's everything to play for, Dan. It can't be said any simpler than that. It's everything to play for. These boys have been working all year, getting ready for this particular moment. It's hard to describe what that's going to feel like for these boys. I've been through some of this as a coach, and it's so exciting for them. I watched some practice this week. I've watched a ton of film, and I just can't wait to see these two teams come together for this contest. This has been on the schedule. You and I have been talking about it since last year, and guess what? It's here and is exactly what we thought it would be. The stakes are right where we thought they'd be.
Not an unfamiliar territory for either of these two teams. You talk about high-stakes matchups. The Panthers have been there. One of the best programs in terms of consistency and winning football since their move to 8-man football. But guess what? So have the Indians. They've met up in multiple playoff games in the past couple of years. This late season matchup has always been good. It was a classic in overtime the last time they played here 2 years ago, with a rematch that went the Indians' way in the playoffs. A rare miss for the Panthers last year. Josh Rader, though, has the foundations in place. There was never any panic. They bounced back, and they have been one of the very best around again this year.
Rader and Kangas, two well-known names around the Upper Peninsula for football greatness. Two coaches, sons of coaches, who are out here and running the program for the Pickford Panthers. Hall of Fame Coach Joe Austin and his staff, an experienced staff, a staff that has gone on and on for these guys and is ready to go. I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Pickford tied number 1 in this week's AP Division I football poll with Brigman. St. Ignace has 5. Gaylord St. Mary's, Inland Lakes, both ranked in the top 10. Newberry, an honorable mention. The Panthers also the number 1 unanimous team in this week's U.P. poll after dismantling number 2 Norway last week. The Indians also an honorable mention. Any extra motivation for the Tribe that they're not getting kind of the love that they have, that some of these other teams have gotten when you're behind other teams that you have beaten.
I want to know how in the hell, Dan, St. Ignace ends ahead of us in the ratings. I want to know that.
I did not get an answer.
Well, you know what you do?
The only Eastern UP representative on the UP Sports Writers Polling Committee. I know it's been a log jam there. That's open.
Yeah, go on down there, guys.
And I just sent out a simple email the last 2 weeks and said, can somebody outside that's voting this different explain to me what I'm not seeing in the simple math? Did not get returned. Getting our starting lineups here. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff. It's the Indians and the Panthers with M123 FM.
Are you tired of squinting and straining to see the world around you? Dr. Derek Dake and the team at Northern Lights Vision Center in Newberry is committed to bringing the beauty of clear vision back into your life. Whether you're in need of new eyeglasses or contact lenses, Northern Lights Vision Center has many choices to choose from. Say goodbye to blurry vision and hello to a world of clarity and color. Your journey to a clearer vision starts with a simple call by calling 906-291-2015 to set up an appointment. Let Northern Lights Vision Center light up your world.
Coach, I asked you before we started, we were going to sit down and broadcast this game. Both of our chairs are already gone. We are pumped up, ready to go. Want to welcome the Pickford fans. Big thank you to Susan Eddington and the Pickford community. They've always been supporters, really one of the founding schools of our E.U.P sports network. And then, of course, here locally, M123 FM and the Newberry News here in Newberry.
They're great people over there. I've been over there a couple of times doing their games. They're great fans. Coaches are great. athletic director is fantastic, great to work with, and just nice people. They get high school athletics. Don't think for a second they're not competitive and they don't take it serious and they're going to come after you. They will, but they're going to shake your hand before and shake your hand after, and I like that out of anybody.
Big Gabe Hamilton going to tee it up. Coach, real quick before we get underway, some keys for both sides tonight to find a victory in this matchup.
Well, it's going to be nose-to-nose up front on both sides, and I think whoever wins the line of scrimmage wins this game. They're going to have to try to do something with Matty Rahali. I'm not sure what they're going to do. You can only stop him in so many facets of his game. And it's the same thing with us with the Pickford Panthers with Tommy Story, who's one heck of a ball player.
Tommy Story was a ball boy for that storied Pickford group from a few years ago. His older brother Jimmy was a quarterback on that team. Nick Eddington, that was a group that won a state championship. We're on their way to another one when they had to forfeit a game due to COVID testing in the state semifinals they would have been in that year. But this is a Pickford team. It goes top to bottom all the way down to their flag football team, Coach. They're serious.
Absolutely. It's a full program, just like we've developed here.
Story in the gun. We'll call his name quite a bit. Indians open in the 33 defense. The kick from Hamilton went out of bounds and a straight forward carry there and a punch forward on a short gain.
Pavey on the tackle, along with big number 62, Kason Hamilton, the beef stew, comes up and makes the play.
There's a number change on your roster, by the way.
Okay.
Gabe Hamilton is wearing 62.
Gabe is 62, all right.
And Kason is wearing 52 tonight. Or no, check that, 51 for Kason.
All right,
tonight.
I'll screw that up all night, and I apologize.
Out of the gun, 2nd and 7 coming up at Story. Straight ahead, up the gut, wrapped up. Rahali met him in the hole there, and a key 3rd down. They're all going to be key tonight, Coach. You can split these teams by a hair, I think, when you look at their body of work, and you've seen plenty of both.
Watched a lot of film on both teams. Familiar with both programs. No surprises yet, Dan. They're going to test the middle. They're going to get their offensive line comfortable with what's going on. We're going to get our D-line comfortable. They've just dove Story off both sides. Story under center, Dan.
3rd and 5 here. Pickford just across midfield, opening drive of this varsity contest. Power I here for the Panthers. Fumbled snap, and Rounds gets hit in the backfield. Rounds will line up as the quarterback in their under center sets so they can get Story in the backfield, and that's going to bring up a big 4th down back across midfield, and a fumbled snap on a night that's dry. We weren't expecting it. Both teams were prepared for weather this week, but the Indians might have got the first break of the ball game.
Mohar half a step from getting on top of that football, or it's 1st and 10 Indians.
Keep an eye on Brian Nelson out there tonight. Brian, a little rib injury in that game last week. Good to see him back out. The Indians will not get Liam Nillette, the senior defensive end, back for this season. But other than that, health report pretty good for Newberry. Punt there. Takes a hop. And there's a pile up for it now.
Not sure if someone touched that, Dano.
My question there, too, is was Kennedy Depew engaged? Because you cannot engage a guy and push him into the football anymore. And it's going to go to the Panthers.
Pickford picks it up on the Newberry, looks like about the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, excuse me, Dano. 9:55 to go, still 0-0.
So
but a big
Indians
break for the Panthers.
Get a break. Pickford gets one back-to-back, and they end up with a 1st down, fresh set of downs at the 24-yard line.
No back.
It may just be empty in the box here. Story straight ahead. Good push. Brian Nelson got through. The line had to leave Rahali to come help, and Matty's there to clean it up on a short gain.
Both teams getting off the ball pretty well. Pavey's being tough inside. He's going to pull a double team. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see that double team quite often, and that's going to free up linebackers to make plays.
Ethan Pavey in his previous varsity instances has really only played one side of the ball. This year they put him on defense, and Coach, he has been great inside on that line.
You can see his strength and him continuing to develop.
The wing set now. They'll go motion to the far side. Story straight ahead. Bottled up. Good job, Indians. Hamilton and Pavey in the middle there. And we're going to get a 3rd down Whistle coming in late, and the Panthers are going to take an early timeout here, Coach. 9 minutes to go, opening quarter on this ball game. Dan Hardenbrook, the coach, Jeff Puckett, glad to have you along from the Newberry High School football field. Big ball game coming into today. Pickford, number 2. St. Ignace, number 3. Norway jumps up to 4th in playoff points in the state after their win over North Central last night. Newberry in at 13. Those will probably be the group of 4. I say probably because you got to win this ball game because somebody in the state of Michigan in Division I is not getting in at 7-2.
Yeah, it's not the way it used to be a couple of years ago where you just got to get the wins, Daniel.
Yeah.
You got to produce. You got to be quality teams to get into the playoffs.
Newberry 13th this week.
Coach Rader
big
not
points, and
Coach
the
Rader,
Saints and Panthers will play next week.
Coach Rader not happy at that timeout. He pulled his team over and he got after them. There's something they're not doing well, and he's going to try to get it fixed right here, right now.
3rd and 6. Indians got to stop. Then fumbled snap. Ball's loose.
That could be
Pile
Indians.
up.
I think that's Indians. We're getting an indication. Indians
Come
football,
up with
Dano. Indians football, Joe.
Gabe Hamilton comes up with the recovery, and the Indians get it back. And 2 of the best teams that you will see anywhere are trading odd instances here early on in this ball game.
You don't see those kind of mistakes at either one of these teams. You really don't. And it hasn't been from hard hitting or anything like that. They just dropped the ball. They had it stuffed up there a little bit, but it just fell out of Story's hands, and Newberry jumped on it.
A little nerves maybe on
I think it could be.
starting this big ball game. Rahali comes in motion. They'll fake the jet counter to Kennedy Depew. Kennedy will fight his way forward, and you are seeing 15 or 16 guys in every pile in this one early on.
There's nobody shy on this field tonight, Dan. You're going to see Pickford come up and play hard, and the same with the Newberry Indians. They know how much they have to play for tonight. They want a share of that conference championship.
Yep, Pickford playing for the outright sole possession of the conference with a win tonight. Newberry gets a victory. It'd be a 3-way tie. Everybody will be done with their conference games after tonight. Indians go in the gun, spread it out. Nutkins is going to look for a quick pass. Deep down the sideline. Rahali runs underneath it. And
touchdown. He's going to make it, Dano. He's going to score.
Touchdown, Indians.
Pretty good coverage there.
74 yards.
Gunnar Bennett had him covered up. He did the best he could, but then at the end, Rahali just ran him. Nutkins made a great play, and the mistake that Rahali didn't make was stopping to look for the ball. He just kept wheeling, landed in the breadbacks. What a catch over the shoulder, Dano. And we're up 6-0.
Trusting each other, quarterback and wide receiver, and a beautifully timed play in stride.
Good luck.
2-point try here. Left hash. It'll be a Caduti look, but Pickford's been seeing that for years. They'll let Rahali clear. There it is. To the corner. Caught. Matty Rahali.
Yes.
From Gavin Nutkins. And with 8:05 to go, the Indians strike first. They lead it 8-0.
Caduti again comes through, Dano. Tough to stop.
Reliable.
Reliable, my friend Pete Peransky. I remember the time when he said, you know what we ought to run? We ought to run Caduti. And then he explained it, and the coaching staff went, huh? And then he explained it some more. He drew it up, and we still said, huh? And he continued to work. We put it in, and guess what, Dan? It's still being run around here at Newberry.
74 yards, Nutkins to Rahali, and coach, they came out and took a shot.
They sure did, Dano. You're not going to see them. They know what this game means.
Who needs smash mouth football?
And they want to get in.
With the air raid.
You got to get in the end zone. You got to get in, and you got to keep Pickford, their high-powered offense, off of the field.
So it'll be Hamilton to boot it away. 8:05 to go. Indians leading it 8-0 out of the gates here. Gabe. End over end boot, and another one that goes out of bounds. Pickford will get good field position again here, taking the ball at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, a short drive. Saw a lot of Story. We're going to see that. Coach Joe Austin made an interesting comment to me earlier this week. He came in, I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday, after prepping and continuing to watch film, and he goes, you know what? These guys and what they do with Story reminds me of what North Central does with Gorzinski. They're just going to move bodies around. They'll pack it in. They'll spread it out. And they're just going to hammer you. And he reminds me of a kid we saw a little bit last year, Josiah Paramaki.
Absolutely. They're just going to wait for him to bust one. Okay, a lot like we do with Rahali. They rely on him for a lot of things.
Double bug here with 2 to the right side. They're just leading for Story. Interior of that Newberry defensive line went great, but he gets free. And now Story with the big one. Rahali brings him down at the 30-yard line. Oh, it looked like it was going to be a
we had him
about
stopped,
2.
and you just can't stop tackling that guy. What a play. He busted it out, headed outside, and for a nice gain for the Pickford Panthers.
And we've already seen, too, a little bit here. The officials are going to let these guys play. We saw in a game last week with Rapid River and Newberry, kind of lopsided, a lot of quick whistles. Let's not let guys keep pushing. Let's not let guys keep fighting. Story again. Same thing coming this way. Near side double bugs to the left. They do it right up the gut. Good stop there by Nutkins.
Tough yards in the middle for the Panthers, but they continue to hammer and hammer and hammer away. And they still pick up a nice gain of about 4 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. They're on the Newberry 26-yard line.
I've done a couple of Panther games this season, including their classic with Rudyard a few weeks ago. One thing they'll do, they'll pound you, but you cannot fall asleep.
Absolutely, because you know they're going to pull up and toss that over your head a little bit.
Seth Miller, Cale Maciag, Kyle Rounds, Hunter Hagan, they've all been involved in the offense this season for the Panthers. Snap here. They'll fake the sweep. Story one-on-one on the edge. Kennedy Depew, a little juke. Nice run there by Story, and a fresh set of downs for the Panthers.
Enough for the first down. Depew bit a little bit on the head juke, but continued with the play and did get him out of bounds, but it's a 1st and 10 for the Panthers. 6:47 to go, 8-0 Indians after the turnover by the Panthers. Indians in that 3-man front, Dan. Pickford comes to the line. Under center. Out of the eye, Dan.
Rounds will be under center here. They're going to go tailback. Nice job on the backside defensive end.
Kind of a double dive look there. Fake to the fullback, give to the tailback off the other side. He bends it.
That was Gunnar Bennon. Tommy Rahali confirms that. I tell you what, that PA gig isn't an easy job over there in the next booth.
Yeah, Daniel spent the PA gig on the first game. The JVs lost 44-22 to end their season. A nice season for the JV squad.
I can tell you this after watching that JV game. Neither of these programs are going anywhere, Coach. No. Snap here. They'll sweep the wing now on the counter. Little different look. Pavey.
Big Pavey.
With a bear hug.
And that's it for that. But he did pick up a couple.
What has been the key for Ethan Pavey? Because he's always been a big, strong kid. But we're starting to see the production now come where he didn't always get a lot of tackles, but took up a lot of attention for offenses. But the last few games, Coach, he's gone through the roof. Tackles, sacks, tackles for loss.
I think his technique is getting a lot better. He's adjusting to the speed of the game, and he's maturing physically as a young man.
And I think you're seeing him catch up now as a junior to kids his own age again. Out of the eye, Rounds goes toss. Here's Bennon on the edge. Pickford will try to sneak it down in there. Going to be out of bounds, just shy of the 10-yard line. Fourth down coming up.
Big shout out to my friend Chris and Karen Bolio. They're down in Mount Pleasant, heading to Detroit tomorrow, where daughter Natalie is running the Detroit Marathon on Sunday.
I wouldn't even drive the Detroit Marathon, Coach.
I mean, neither would I, even if there's a piece at the end. But Natalie Boley, a heck of an athlete out of Newberry.
Indians showing pressure. Straight ahead for Story. Up the middle.
I don't think so.
Not
I
gonna
don't
get
think
it.
so. And
This
Newberry takes
cutback
over on
play,
down.
That's an option where basically they release a guy to second level, and Story can go right if he seals inside, or he can bounce it back up the middle. His cutback lane just got walled off, Coach.
It did. That was just good pursuit by the Indians, but a pretty good play by Pickford. You know they're coming back to that.
9-yard line. Indians take over. 1st and 10. Nutkins deep to Rahali, a score on the first drive. And it'll be Maddie. Just the outside zone. Cuts it back. Breaks the tackle. Rahali running like I've never seen him run before. And a big gainer on first down.
Quality
for Maddie
block
Rahali.
by Gabe Lupp to seal the end. Rahali takes advantage and busts it for about 20.
I know you love hard-nosed football, and you've mentioned this the past couple of weeks, but we get better at it every game. Our blocking on the edge, our tight ends, our wide receivers, downfield, been very good for the Indians.
It's what you do away from the ball. Coach Dake has said it to me all the time. He coached that way. It's something I'll never forget, and I think you saw it right there downfield with the receivers getting blocks also.
Indians. Oh, tried to go with a little.
No.
Oh, Nutkins.
Well, that ends up being an incomplete pass.
It should be. You're
It
right.
should be. It's a forward pass.
You look and you go, Gavin, what are you doing? Kind of like the kick out of bounds last
Incomplete
week,
pass.
Coach. He kicked
That's
it
a
3/4 of the way to Chatham.
That's football sense taking over. It made my heart go faster, Dano, and I'm going to have to see if I can get my testicles to drop again. Oh my gosh.
That was a backside reverse option.
What a play.
From deep in the playbook.
Boy, and did Pickford get off the ball that time.
And Nutkins just rifles it on a shovel pass, incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10.
Here come the Panthers.
Back in the yell set, Joe Austin says, let's get back to basics here.
DePew off the left side.
Yep.
Picks up a few. Going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Indians.
4:28 to go here in the first.
Oh, my gosh.
You all right?
I think so. It'd be fine. That was the last big play that's going to happen, but it's not, Dano. On both these two teams playing, lots to be seen.
Well, the grandchildren are checking on you on the feed. Give here, Rahali fighting, leans forward. He's going to be short, and it's going to be 4th and 3 coming up for the Indians. Their first big conversion of the ball game.
Big number 72, Jude Taylor comes back in. And the Indians take the punt formation with Rahali to kick.
8-0 lead. Newberry going to try and play the field position game here.
Punt and play defense. I like that.
Snap.
Lots of time.
Good line
Good
drive
kick.
boot. Takes a hop and a Newberry roll. Fielded by Bennon. He'll work the right side. Good block back across the football. It's going to be a penalty on Pickford here. They missed that in the JV game twice.
Nutkins comes up a little bit limpy.
That's got to come back. Flag on the edge on the Panthers.
I didn't see it, Dano, so I'm not sure what you're seeing.
Just behind the football. There it is. Illegal block.
Okay. In that JV game, we saw that, and it wasn't called. Kind of a back block. Not a crack back block, but it's a no-look back block. And that's illegal now.
So the Panthers get it back. Give them credit. Good drive there defensively.
Good defense
to keep
by the
this
Panthers.
a one-possession ball game. We know Pickford can spread it out, but they want to pick their spots with that. They don't want to get out of their bread and butter.
Yeah, that's not what they do.
Down 2 scores and have to play faster.
They're used to running and running it tough in the middle.
Oh,
they drop
fake
back and
toss. Backside slant. Good play design. Fumble. Indians are on it.
Indians pick it up.
I think Nelson finally has it. Fumble to the Indians.
Called Newberry football. Yeah, and that's going to stand, Dano. And the Pickford again with the turnover. That's uncharacteristic of them, Dano.
Nice play design there. They fake the toss to the far side. Boot rounds back. get the drag pass across the middle and the fight for yardage. Somebody from Newberry comes up and knocks that ball out, and Brian Nelson finally corrals it.
That is a good design play by Pickford. One man clears out, the other man sneaks behind the black linebackers through the zone.
Indians looking for more points off the turnover. Nutkins rolls, fires a dart to Mohar.
And he's
down to the
10-yard
10 line. Newberry got their first touchdown off a turnover. We've seen a few of them early. Newberry on a punt that hit a blocker. Panthers jumped on it. Newberry got a fumble, hit the big play to Rahali.
So at 3:08, Newberry leads 8-0 down. And they're in the red zone after the turnover.
Still get a first down. Ball spotted at the 11. They'll go to Depew. Follows Jude Taylor. And he's down to the 5.
Luck again came off the ball, had a fantastic block on the linebacker to spring Depew for a nice 6-yard gain.
Good job by Gabe getting second level there. And then Jude kind of gives him the cutback line.
Big Jude Taylor having a game.
What did you tell Coach Dake before the JV game when the boys were hanging out here in front of the booth? Got to call my name at least 6 or 7 times tonight. Jude's off to a good start.
He's off to a good start for sure. And it's 2nd and 4 for the Indians down in the red zone still. Turn.
Straight up the gut. Depew fights forward. He'll get to the 3.
Might have got 1 or 2.
Newberry and Pickford. It's always one of the games of the year. Boy, we've seen some dandies.
We've seen some
I was over there in Pickford for that double OT classic. You were watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we saw a pretty good one between Newberry and St. Ignace here a couple years ago. This one might join the pack.
We'll see.
And then
Pickford
another
stands strong here.
Potentially good one for the Panthers next week. Nutkins gives to Depew. Straight up the gut, dives.
Close enough, and he's in. And he's in.
Don't want to get on the other end of that one.
And Pickford played it well. They came up hard, and they were there, but Depew just kind of forced his way in and got the score for the Indians. Line up. We'll see what we see here, Dano. Will it be Caduti again? I'm not sure that they haven't seen Caduti and are going to be ready.
Look at the wrinkle we put in last week.
Let's take a look.
Countering off of it.
Certainly a Caduti look. Motion.
There it is. Caduti counter and snatched away. Good push there by Pickford. And Cale Maciag just came right through and took the handoff.
And that's a pretty big PAT stop for Pickford. That keeps it a 2-score game.
That might be a little there where somebody forgot who's taking and who's faking. And Cale Maciag says, thank you very much.
He sure did. What a great play by Maciak that time. So at 1:43 left in the first quarter, Dano, Newberry leads 14-0. Both of their touchdowns off of Pickford turnovers.
1:43 to go, and that is the difference so far in a couple of tough penalties. The crackback block changed the field position. We saw a couple of bigger penalties here on the Panthers early on. 1:43 to go.
So
perfect start, I think, if you're the Indians.
Yes.
If you can control the clock and the pace in this ball game. I always say it, turnovers, penalties, time of possession. Indians right now 3 for 3, and that's why they lead 14-0.
But you won't shake this team. Their coaches have been here around long enough. They got them well coached, and Pickford's going to come back, and they're going to try as hard as they can to get on the board here with Ben in deep. Hamilton a kick.
Nice boot. This one he keeps straight and bounce from the 18-yard line. I believe it's Maciag, and he just gets hammered.
Wow. Was that the kicker? Was that Beef Stew?
That is Gabe Hamilton.
Hamilton came down.
Cason's beef stew. I don't know what you call Gabe.
Okay, I don't know what I call Gabe. Is he
T-bone.
Chicken stew. He's T-bone, I guess. But first and 10 for the Panthers at about their own 32. And let's see what Coach Rader has in store for us on this drive.
Not a lot of teams with a kicker that would get a Northern Star Chiropractic bone crunching hit of the game nominee.
That's for sure.
Big fellow with a little athleticism. Straight ahead for Story. Pickford getting back to what they do best. And Story flies through the air at the end of the play. He'll get a couple more on the dive.
Heck of a
And
nice run by Story there.
every
Hard-nosed
yard,
running.
every blade of grass tonight, every inch going to matter to these kids, Coach.
He's not a big kid. He's 5'9", 165
The legs,
junior.
the leg strength.
But man, is he
Foot
hard-nosed
speed.
and can go. He's fearless, Dano.
His brother is one of the best I've seen just in the all-around game. Give here. Straight ahead. It's a battle right at the sticks. Pavy's going to wrap up
Let's see what
and
kind
throw
of
down.
See if we get a left
Short.
or right
They're
footed,
right below me here.
left or right footed spot here.
He's not even looking at the spot.
Well, the spot guy left,
Yeah.
but they placed
Well, he's
it.
looking at the sticks to
And
spot
he's
the ball.
saying
Near side official had the spot.
he's short.
He was looking over at the sticks.
3rd and about 6 inches, they're
All
saying.
right. Panthers. Double bug to the near side. Story in the gun. Indians will bring pressure. They'll try to get there. Good blocking and an explosion. Fumble again, but out of bounds.
A nice tackle by Rahali downfield, but not until Story has a nice gain and a first down for the Panthers.
I mean, I tell you what, we saw Maddie on that big run on the last drive for Newberry. We see it there with Story and even Kennedy Depew. We got some good, hard, powerful runners that get a second gear. They don't slow down. They get faster as the play goes on.
They do, and they don't usually get tackled by that first guy as what I used to coach, and certainly my brother would know about it.
Double bug, far side. They're just going to lead everybody. Student body right. Nutkins is there. Holds on tight.
Boy, that Story is a hard-nosed runner,
Yep.
Dano. He made something out of nothing there.
Gabe Luck getting back in the play.
Big shout-out to my friend Don Winsley, listening down in Indiana. Don, hope you're doing well, brother, and I hope to see you soon.
So that is the end of the first quarter, and Coach and I are going to step aside here real quick, but our Tequamanon Pom-Pom kids, the junior cheerleaders performing tonight, and we're going to let you watch them here live as we are 14-0 end of the first. Well, they're a little gun shy. The junior cheerleaders have left the building. They're getting prepared for halftime show. So 14-0 here as the Indians and the Panthers. It'll be a 2nd and 7 coming up. And we've seen a game's worth of action in about 12 minutes, Coach.
What a first quarter, Dano, to watch. If you're watching at home in Pickford, I know that you're down 14-0, but you've got to like the way your team's playing right now. If they can eliminate those turnovers, they've been able to drive the football against us.
Oh, there is an eternity of time left in this ball game. Pickford right below us. They'll start at the Newberry 44-yard line at 2nd down. Newberry trying to flip their defense late. They moved the guy. Story goes right for that spot.
And he busts
breaks free. He's off to the races. He'll beat Nutkins. Touchdown, Panthers.
Touchdown, Panthers. That's going to make it closer. So 14-6 with 11:50 to go in the second quarter. Just a nice run. Just a hard-nosed run that we had there. Newberry had it stopped, but again, failed to finish the tackle. And you've got to keep tackling Story till you hear a whistle.
Newberry made a late defensive adjustment. Brian Nelson flipped to the far side of the field, and Story must have saw a lane because that's right where he was headed.
Big 2-point conversion here for Pickford.
Panthers straight ahead.
Dives into the middle.
Nothing doing.
No hands up yet.
No good.
And he's not in.
Nutkins and Pavey come together for the stop. But the Panthers are on the board, 14-6. Indians going to get the ball back after scoring on their last 2 drives. They'll look to make it 3 in a row and build that lead back up.
Coach Mendoza meets his defense on the way out. clapping hands. Now it looks like they got a little bit of a butt chew, and then he gives them the gipper on the end to take it off to get them going again. So we'll see Newberry's kickoff return here, Dano.
Ben Rahalik just went to every guy on this kick return unit. He's one of the assistants and fired them up, pumping fists. That's a mistake. It's not the end of the ball game, and it's not the end of the world.
No, but certainly it isn't, Dano. But I tell you what, you make too many of those mistakes against this Pickford team, and you're going to get beat. You got to take that away. You got to finish your tackles on this Pickford team, because that is some hard running backs, and Story will just kill you if you don't.
So the Panthers on the board with 11:50 to go here in the second. Newberry on top 14-6. What do we got for a kicker? Eli McDonald.
Rahali deep. I expect him to kick it short somewhere.
Josh Rader is seeing Matthew Rahali since his middle school days. Front line hopper picked up. Mohar, he's not scared of anybody. Dances, fights forward. Good starting spot for the Indians. That's plus yardage as far as the field position game goes, out to the 41-yard line.
So Newberry takes over 1st and 10. See if they can answer with the Pickford touchdown. They lead 14-6, 11:46 to go. Everybody's still got timeouts.
Josh Rader may someday join Joe Austin in that Hall of Fame. But you mentioned a guy who doesn't get a lot of credit for the success over there, and that's guard Kangas. He does a great job with this defense. Curious to see what kind of adjustment he makes.
He's one of the coaching Kangas families. His father, Todd Kangas, out of Manistee. I know him well. He's a great man and a great coach, and his boys were good players, that's for sure, great players, and they both coach.
Coach, he was this close to ending up here.
I know, absolutely. Rahali again
Matty
had a 9-yard run. Now he's going to bust this. He's outside. Past the 20, the 10, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rahali scores. Are there flags, Dano? I don't see any flags, Joe. Newberry scores. Touchdown, Newberry.
I was looking. He's had 5 of them called back this year. And Matty jumps the far side. And Tom Sanders is up and partying in the parking lot.
The fireworks, right. Fireworks going off. Tom, that a baby.
Big
what
thank
a play for Rahali.
To Tom and Wendy Sanders and the Sports Boosters sponsoring a tailgate party over there earlier today up until kickoff. And that's a big one for the Indians. Matty Rahali does it again.
Solid blocking,
I believe
Daniel.
That puts him over 20 total touchdowns this season.
Just solid blocking for sure. Caduti, the quick pitch outside to Depew. Can he get in?
Man, it's a fight down there.
I think if he ran to the corner, he's in, but he didn't. He kind of saw it, put on a head juke, but we don't get in. But that makes it 20-6. Newberry with 11:15 to go, Dano. What an exciting ball game.
I thought this was going to be grinded out, fist fight, try to find your shot. But both of these teams are delivering haymakers right out of the gate here. There's no jabbing. There's no feeling out. This is straight right hooks back and forth in this one.
Well, I picked the over and under to be 40. I talked with my friend Tom Rahale, and he kind of laughed at me and said, "You're nuts." Well, he might be right. And certainly we're off to quite a start here with both high-powered offenses moving the football.
You got 2 great defensive coaches, and Rudy Mendoza mentioned guard Kangas down there. That might end up being a key component as we move along here, especially coming out of halftime, is what these 2 teams, you're not going to find 2 better coaching staffs than what you got right now.
Rudy's been doing this a long time, and Rudy's the kind of guy that in the offseason he's watching instructional videos. He's reading books all the time on football, websites. The guy just works and works and works to get better. He's a guy who played football for me. I love him as a coach because he gets it, and he works his tail off.
Boot here for Hamilton. Off the front legs of the defender. Scooped up far side. It's Maciag. He'll get out to the 33, 34-yard line. Wrapped up there.
And Pickford takes up over 1st and 10 now on the, where are we at? Close to the 30-yard line?
33,
33-yard line. All 3 timeouts left for both teams. Or no, Pickford took one, didn't they?
Took one early.
Took one early, so he's got 2 over there for Radar.
Look at this new look. Twins to the near side.
We've seen this motion before.
Yep. Now we'll go back.
He kind
We're
of runs
just
the
trying
wheel.
to see how Newberry's matching up here.
We got Bubba
Pressure by
screen over
Luck.
here.
He slipped and fell. Pavey coming in. Depew finally cleans it up. Good job by the Indians to hold their ground. Good coverage, too, on the back end. Shuts that thing down early and a gain of 1.
We've seen that play. I've seen it on tape lots of times. It's a play that they like, and they're successful. They'll put you to sleep with that front side here where 2 receivers are, but you got to watch that motion man on the backside, because if you ignore him, that quarterback will throw across the field. He's not afraid to chuck it down there, Dano.
Rounds is a senior, third-year varsity player. He, on a lot of teams, would be the true starting quarterback. That's just not Pickford's base offense. Story back in. Takes it. I'm going to go straight left. Student body. Nice block on the edge and a spin. And then Newberry knocks the guy forward. It's going to be just short of a first down.
Boy, is Story slippery. He is tough, Dano, tough as nails. They had him stopped after about a 2-3 yard gain, but he never quit. He spins and turns and flips.
His legs move twice as fast as the rest of his body.
They really do. They really do. You can see it.
I mean, Coach Smithson, and he learned this from you. He talks about driving and, a certain amount of steps every play.
Getting your butt behind your pads and going.
Big play here, 3rd and short. Story up the gap. Going to get there. Gabe Luck hangs on and keeps him wrapped up until he gets to the ground. Good job by Gabe, but a good job by Pickford for a first down.
Watching this line play on both sides, and, of course, that's what I look for first, Dano, being a seasoned line coach. Newberry and Pickford's lines are getting off the ball so fast. There are great collisions taking place down there. Absolutely. What a ball game so far. 9-16. Newberry leads 20-6.
Story kind of out of view of the flagpole here, but is in the gun. There it is. They'll go sweep to the left side. Indians, good job by Brian Nelson. Coach, we're doing a good job on the backside.
We are.
Not over pursuing. Carry there by Gunnar Bennon.
Nelson staying home, riding that, but one step behind the play, waiting for that cutback, and made a great play that time. Again, Pavey drawing the double team, tough in the middle, leaves Nelson free to flow.
Talk about the high-stakes games, teams, individual-wise. You get that top spot in the conference. Boy, this might be a decider in the Great Lakes 8 Player of the Year race between Story and Raholly.
A couple of juniors, it certainly could be.
Yeah, and now a couple of juniors.
Yeah.
Not the last time we'll see it.
No, we get to see him again next year.
Give here, straight ahead. Nice push to the second level and a spin. And, I mean, he just bounces off. It's like he's got rubber coating on, Coach.
Well, and the linebacker Hamilton blitzed to the opposite side, was still able to reach out and get a hand on Story to slow him down for pursuit to come, or perhaps Story's still running. Pickford on the drive here, Dano.
Oh, if he put out a hand, it's the size of a frying pan.
This offensive line for Pickford
it's like getting hit with a skillet.
It is.
Running into a tree trunk. Out of the gun. Pickford, one guy split out wide. And they're going to go straight forward, and he keeps going. He was running backwards, and Story is inside the 20. And, oh, man, just another great run by Tommy Story. I keep wanting him to call Jimmy. It's like a flashback to a few years ago.
Newberry has people there, Dano, for sure. And it's not because that Pickford's line isn't fighting. They're fighting hard.
I don't
know. But Newberry's fighting hard, too. But we have not finished tackling here on this drive. If you don't finish, if you don't tackle to the echo of the whistle, he's going to be in the end zone in 2 plays.
Tight set again for the Panthers. They got 5 guys up front, straight ahead, breaks a tackle. Story to the far side, over a defender, and into the end zone. Touchdown.
I was wrong, Dano. It was 1 play. And again, we had bodies there. but we're just not making that tackle.
I don't know if I've seen a kid hit the hole harder.
And his offensive line are blocking their tails off. That's a good offensive line coming out of Pickford, and that makes it 20-12 Indians.
Pickford,
a big PAT2 here. Yep. This looks like a slant on the outside.
Nobody out there. They've been faking bubble with that guy, Coach. They're going to go straight forward.
Nothing there that time.
Hamilton in there as well.
Hamilton and Raleigh denied that.
Not today. 7:21 to go. 20-12 is your score, and a great one between the Indians and the Panthers. Next week, we'll wrap up the regular season. I'll be in Pickford Friday night as the Panthers take on St. Ignace in what should be a dandy of a ball game. And then, man, you talk about playoff implications coming out of this week for that ball game.
Absolutely. And then we finish up on
Saturday. We're back here, 2 o'clock, varsity only. Manistee Catholic Central, no walk in the park for the Indians in week 9.
No, absolutely not. They're not a bad ball club. They take on Bear Lake tonight, who's 1-6, but Manistee Catholic Central is, I believe, 3-4.
Yes, yep. 3-4, and an absolutely crazy looking year in Division II for 8-man football.
Yeah.
Cedarville, Detour, 5-1
on the bubble,
6-1 on the bubble with 1 loss.
Absolutely, and they have Central Lake, 5-2 Central Lake tonight.
Little hopper there. Mohar scoops it up, fighting along the sidelines. Mohar
playing on one leg as he's got some leg injury. You know it hurts. It hurts every time he takes a step, but he's still playing football. You can't hurt it any worse, the doctor said, so you might as well play.
I don't think if they told him it could hurt it worse, it would have stopped him. I think you would have to take the leg, and he'd still find a way to hop around on one.
Well, here come the Indians, Dana. Let's see if they can answer this Pickford offensive drive.
Newberry has scored on 3 straight possessions. Rahali, outside zone, just got stretched to the sideline. Good job there defensively. Story and Ian Brown, who's an underrated defensive end at 6'3". Not a bad guy to have on the edge there.
Just big, tall, strong kids on this Pickford team, Dana.
Loss of 3 brings up second down. Near the midway point in the second quarter. Indians on top, 20-12. They're going to go trips to the far side. Rahali all alone. Bubble screen. Kennedy Depew with room. Kennedy got a great block from Gavin Nutkins. And then a late hit out of bounds, and there's the flag.
That's a mistake by Pickford. I rarely see that.
That's a frustration play.
It is. I hate to see that because, well, that will add a nice gain on top of a nice gain for the Indians. But you don't usually see that out of these Panthers.
Right at the feet of Josh Rader. The safest spot for that young man may be in the huddle, but he's coming out.
Yeah, he's going to come out and talk with the coach.
I'm sure when he gets a minute.
Oh, he will.
He's hiding right now.
And if not right now, and if not tonight, it will be on film on Monday.
6:29 to go. Nice quick bubble screen. Rahali to Depew. One thing to note about the Indians, they came in this week. Rahali and Depew, 1 carry difference in their usage on the season. Straight ahead on the draw. Rahali bounces outside, breaks the tackle, keeps it going. He's ran out of bounds, but first and goal coming up for the Tribe. Matty Rahali punching it through.
He's just a tough kid to contain. You can try to take away his receiving, and then they put him in the backfield.
Everybody knows about the kid's speed and athleticism, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his toughness either.
Very tough kid. Absolutely. I mean, and how do you take him out of the defensive secondary? How do you guard against his kick and punt return? At some place, you got to let the kid play. And on that one, it was a nice game.
He's all alone to the near side here. Now they send a guy out. Bennon's on him, quick back. Depew off the hop.
Well, that was the same kind of dribble we saw in the JV game where it bounced out. Depew's feet bounced right back into his hands. Must be that basketball training he has.
As you know, we run this offense at all of our levels here in Newberry I remember Kennedy Depew as a young 7th grader and one of my first years coaching middle school football. And that exact play, dribbled it at the goal line, picked it up off the hop, somersaulted into the end zone for a touchdown. Like he planned the whole thing.
Well, I wish he'd stop doing that, Dan, because my heart's over on my sleeve again.
You don't get 9 points for style.
You do
you
not.
Still get 6.
You just get 6. Rahali in the middle, touchdown, Indians.
And you know what Kennedy's saying? You owe me an assist.
Look at the blocking by the Newberry offensive line that time. Great collision with the Pickford Panthers, but Newberry won that battle that time. Right behind Big Jude Taylor and into the end zone.
Here's how you judge it, the quality of the hole. If you or I could run through it,
that's a big one,
offensive
Dano.
line's doing a job.
Yeah, they're doing a good one that time. Rahali seeing the field, makes a good cut. Fireworks go off.
You could have got through there with me on your back.
And it's 26-12. Indians, 5:37 to go. I don't know why I do anything different. Let's see what the Indians do here.
Fasten your seatbelts because Pickford's not going anywhere.
No. Snap. Give to Rahali in the middle. No.
Oh, they tried to go
Quarterback
option.
pulls.
Yep, and it's broken up. And look at the fire there. Who's number 60 for Pickford, Coach?
Number 60 for Pickford, Eli McDowell.
6'2", 220.
The big boy.
220 is being friendly.
Yeah, 220 is a gift.
He just came through.
I think he's got a thigh that's 220. That's a big man.
Just smashing dudes.
Wow.
He did the damage, and then Gunnar Bennon shot the gap after basically clearing rubble and bodies.
So that keeps it 2 scores, Dano. And they could
does.
go ahead with 2.
Little question here. Ben Rahali saw it down there, was talking with the officials.
What a game so far. We'll see if Pickford can answer. They have here had a great drive. We couldn't stop on the last drive, Dano.
I ain't going to count them
Story
out.
running the ball. No, goodness, no, don't count them out.
So 26-12, conversion no good.
And my over-under is almost out the window.
It's like a half parlay, Coach.
That's right.
Double down. Double down with Tommy at the half.
That's right. So here we go. Beef stew to kick.
See Adam Rahali, our longtime broadcaster of Indian Athletics here.
I got to say something, Dano. Cadillac, number 3 tennis team in the state, which Tony's boy plays, and he plays well.
Uh-oh. Oh, cut back.
Uh-oh.
Big lane brought down at midfield. Nelson and Luck save a touchdown. You know who we have not mentioned, and is probably the secret ingredient to the Indian success? Connor Slack.
That's right. When you have a water boy extraordinaire, manager extraordinaire.
Nobody else's water boy is good enough to tell their JV teams no.
That's right. So let's see what Pickford can do here, Dano. Newberry is hard trying to get organized. Story.
Oh,
takes off,
big
but we missed him again. Ken
Nutkins.
Nutkins saved the touchdown. No, he can't. Story just ran away from him. What an athlete, what a ball player. And just like that, Dano, Pickford picks up a touchdown.
You might want to go double up now. What a run up the left side. And again, bodies are there. We had 2 guys flowing to the football, but Story, like it gets launched out of a can, and he turned the edge quick, got the corner, and went.
You've got to make a decision to tackle him and make it quick, and then you've got to finish. You've got to finish what you started, and I hope that that's where we're going to see as some of the message to our Newberry defensive players. What an athlete Story is. They line up for 2, Dano.
Big one here. They're all big in a ball game like this. Straight
Story
forward.
dives over left side, and he's in without a problem.
Yep, conversion good. (26-20). Indians on top. We'll take a quick break, catch our breath. Indians, your turn when we come back. with M123 FM, the E.U.P Sports Network.
The things that we do as well as any place you could get it done.
Dr. Benjamin Bryant is proud of the surgery performed at Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center and reminds you, if you've put off some procedures because of COVID, chances are the surgery team at Helen Newberry Joy can perform it right here close to home.
We have a very experienced team. I think that our outcomes speak for us in terms of the job that gets done.
The list of procedures available just minutes from home at Helen Newberry Joy is impressive.
Gallbladder surgery is very, very common. We fix hernias. We put ports in. We remove all sorts of other lesions. We do vasectomies here. I don't think the public really knows that.
So if you've been putting off a procedure, it's only a quick phone call away.
I recommend that if they have a primary care doctor, they keep that doctor in the loop. But all they have to do is either call their doctor's office or call my office and ask to be scheduled, and they get scheduled.
Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center. Your health, our passion.
Back here in Newberry, Jacob Mohar takes the kickback there. Indians tried to move Matthew Rahali around on that so teams can't just kick it away from him. Good kick, though, down to the 10-yard line, and Mohar just fought to get back what he could coming the other way.
I really think we're better off just leaving Rahali deep and forcing them to kick it short. We have some good runners there, and we're going to pick up yardage every time.
Dan Hardebrook, Jeff Puckett, glad to have you along.
26-20, Newberry leads, 5:16 to go.
Indians go spread here. Rahali just tries to run QB draw. Not a bad option. Get him one-on-one with a guy, but good job by the Pickford defense. Newberry scored on 4 straight. The Panthers have scored on 3 straight after 2 fumbles early on in this ball game. That right now the difference.
Nelson to the ball game. Taylor out. Nutkins brings in the play.
Nelson's going to line up at a tackle. Might see something pulling here, Coach. Give. Taking up the middle and bottled up. That's just strength on strength in the middle. Would not want to be in the middle of that scrum.
Big, tough, strong guys on both sides of the football, Dano. Newberry, 3rd and about 8 now. Nutkins in at quarterback. Calls the play and brings them to the line.
4:08 to go, 3rd down. This would be a big stop if the Panthers can pull one out here. Quick slant, too far in front of Mohar, incomplete. Owen McConkey just had to stand there and wait, and the Panthers get their stop.
Looks like Newberry going to have to punt here, and they leave plenty of time for that Panther offense to get back on the field.
Kennedy Depew will be the punter here.
Hopefully we'll see some better tackling and on this drive, or Pickford's going to run the table here on the rest of this half.
Punt for Depew.
Great
it's
punt.
A high beauty, and it's fielded cleanly at the 42. Around the edge. Bennon breaks one tackle. He's going to outrun Pavey. Gets a big block, and all the way down and still fighting. This play won't end, and down to the 26-yard line, Gunnar Bennon with a big one for the Panthers.
Bennon with a great return, great blocking by the Panthers. Newberry finally drags him down, but not until he gets down to the Newberry 25-yard line. 26-20, Newberry still ahead, 3:38 left to go.
Panthers 2 timeouts, so they can work at their own pace here late. Newberry will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
I don't think we're going to see anything different here, Dan.
No.
We haven't stopped it yet. Let's give it the story and let him run.
Straightforward. Another big gain to the 2nd level. Rahali holds on tight. Story and Rahali have been kind of a one-on-one duel, but their big fellas have done great favors on both sides.
Big gain for Story there. 9 yards, brings up 2nd and 1 for the Panthers.
Indians go wide here, Coach, with their defensive ends. They're in a 32, almost a 30. Mohar kind of creeps up to make it a 33. Straight forward and just Look at that. You trip the
Legs
guy
just
up,
turning.
and he just finds a way to dive through the air. Kale Maciag. Pretty good trio there with Story.
Hard
and then
running backs,
mixing
all of
in
them.
Bennon and Maciag.
Another first down for the Panthers. Going to be on 1st and goal from about the 10-yard line.
Tribe going to take one here. Newberry trying to make a defensive adjustment. We'll take one as well. It's the Panthers and the Indians with M123 FM.
It's a huge inventory reduction sale at Newberry Motors. Get a 2014 Chevy Silverado Crew 4x4 with 152,000 miles for only $19,995 or best offer. With over $2 million in pre-owned late model inventory of cars, trucks, and SUVs that gotta go. It's a huge inventory reduction sale happening now at Newberry Motors, your locally owned family-run dealer. Call 906-293-5104 or find us on South M123 in Newberry.
All right, Indians, you see them there in the huddle. Let's pan you across the field where Josh Rader's doing the same thing. Been a great first half, full of fun, full of excitement. 26-20 with 2:55 to go here in the half. Both teams with 2 timeouts left.
Back and forth, back and forth. We've seen great runs and great plays by some of the Newberry Indians, and the story has been the story for the Pickford Panthers. That and the big offensive and defensive line for the Panthers. Newberry really needs to make a stand here.
Panthers in the gun. They'll give here on a little counter. Back the other side, and Hamilton will save a touchdown for now, and another Panther, Seth Miller, with the carry on that one.
He busts off about 8
guy.
yards. Down to about the 2-yard line down.
2nd and goal from the 3. The Panthers trying to tie up this ball game. They put themselves in a quick hole, but have clamped down to get a key stop. Same thing. They go back to Miller. He'll fight. He's not in. Brian Nelson. Gabe Luck. Matty Rahali. 3rd and goal.
The Indians hold. 2 minutes left to go.
2 plays for 2 yards for the Panthers.
And I tell you, Dan, we're in those most important minutes, the last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half, where ball games are won and lost.
Power set here. Give straight forward to Story. Fights forward. He didn't get in.
He did.
No. I thought Hamilton had him bodied up at the goal line, but I'll take the referee's word for it. They got a better angle. I'm only 45 yards away and 37 rows up.
You just missed it, I think, Dano. So they're going for 2 here. It's tied up 26-26. Dan, 1:35 to go. A big PAT 2-try here for the Panthers.
That's Josh Rader and Story basically saying play time's over, and they punch it in. Now a 2-point try. He's going to come on the sweep. He is going to be ran out of bounds. Mohar and Rahali, and we stay tied.
Tied up. So the Indians will have 1:35 and
it's not the
2
first
timeouts
time we've been tied. Probably won't be the last time.
no.
This is one of those you could play 10 times and be 5-5.
I think so.
By a play.
Well, let's see what we still have time here. 1:35 to go.
Story
we don't want to
is-
leave. Certainly, it'd be nice to get in, get some points here. We definitely don't want to let their offense back on the field.
Indians 1:35 to go. They'll have 2 timeouts. Pickford can also use those if Newberry's overly aggressive and doesn't execute, and they could get the ball back. But the Indians right now know at the worst case scenario, you want to go in tied and take the ball back.
Let's see where the kick goes this time.
Mohar is back again. They're going to flip him and Rahali at the last second. They'll go short. Good job by Gabe Luck.
Luck smart.
Ooh, I don't know there. I don't know, Coach. If you're kicking, do you give them that kind of field position late in the half?
Well, it does stop Rahali from running it back, but if it was me, I think I would still kick it deep. Certainly to that second line.
I'd rather have you kick it out of bounds at that point and take it at the
35. Hoping that the Newberry front line bobbles it and they get the ball back, I guess.
Nope. Nutkins. Oh, nice fake. Pulls it. Gets a gain of 2. Brought down. Clock will continue to run. No problem, though, for the Indians. It'll be interesting here if Pickford gets any kind of short yardage stop. They decide to burn one of those timeouts to set up a third or fourth down stop.
26-26, 1:13 and counting to go.
Indians have been stopped twice. So have Pickford on a fumble. Both teams.
And we pull the penalty. Yep. That's too many guys moving at the same time.
That'll make the task tougher. Late here in the half. 1:02 to go. Second quarter in a 26-26 ball game.
Coach Joachim calls Nutkins off to the side. He brings in the play.
And then coach goes for a walk.
Clock running.
Indians will line it up.
2nd and 14 for the Indians.
Ball at the 43. Nutkins deep drop, screen pass, and it's incomplete. Fell just short. Good pressure there by 42, Ian Brown, and Nutkins had no chance to set his feet. Man, Depew had landscape.
3rd and 14 now for the Indians. 47 seconds to go as the clock stops on the incomplete pass.
Pickford has not had to burn a timeout. See what the Indians do. You do not need to get all of it back here, but you'd like to get a chunk. Nutkins.
Going for all of it.
What do I know? Goes for Mohar, incomplete. And it's 4th and 13 with 42.5. Pickford makes another stand. And we're 6 drives each, coach, into this ball game. And we're right back where we started.
And we have to give the ball back here to Pickford, that's for sure. And we don't like that. Let's see if we can get some good punt coverage here.
Kennedy Depew had a beauty last time. He'll do it again here.
If it's me, I'm punting this out of bounds deep if I can. Over towards my bench.
What's the hold up here?
But as you see, Dano, I'm not down there on the field. Somebody's got their lights on outside the fence. That happens down here in our field. Or someone pulls in or gets cold, comes to watch the game.
Tom Raholly gives the announcement after our white hat official, Steve Wilson, goes on a 40-yard jog. And they're not shutting him off. There we go. Ready for play. Just got to wait for Steve to get back.
All right. 4th and about 13. For the Indians here in their punt formation.
Snap.
The snap.
Depew. Nice boot again.
Over here. Looks like it's out of bounds deep.
That's perfect.
And there we go.
Look at Ben Raholly. Gives him a round of applause. Ball out of bounds. Checks up at about the 22-yard line. So, Panthers, they try to get fancy here with 2 timeouts. Or are they just content to turn this into a 2-quarter ball game coming out of halftime?
26-26, 35 seconds to go.
The way Story is going, you could probably just run dive here and get something.
I was going to say, I don't think I'd do anything different but run Story if it's me.
They don't got to get tricky.
Newberry, they're deep. Kind of a prevent look.
Oh, low snap. Hand off here. Mohar fumble. Indians are on it. No, Pickford gets it back.
Oh, how close that was, Dano, to the 3rd turnover.
28 or 26, MHSAA jumps on top of it. And Pickford, even after all that, they're going to take a timeout here. They had 2 fumbles early on in this ball game. Allowed Newberry to get out to the lead. Panthers been a little bit better scoring-wise here in the second as they've evened it up. And that was about a foot away from being Newberry football with a few seconds remaining here in the half.
Absolutely. If it's me, Dano, I run the trap in the middle. I run Story in the middle. and get out the field 26-26 and get ready for the second half.
Big thank you to everybody joining us coming up at the half this week in high school sports from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Coach and I will try to catch our breath and get ready for what should be a pretty good second half. An instant classic, as it was hyped this week, has delivered here in Newberry on another great night crowd-wise. They love their football here.
The rain is held off. The wind is held off. A little bit cool.
Dead calm right now. And a whistle and a timeout. Pickford will be out. Interesting here, because now if you do run something and hit it, you've got no way to stop it. And he may just say, take a knee here. He may have just wanted to call a play, see how they
lined up, see if there's something he can do, get an advantage to try and get some more points on the board and get the lead. But you're right, Dano. Any kind of a completion or run, you can't stop the clock.
You'd have to get out of bounds. But even then, I mean, they're restarting this year. That's been one thing that's been a challenge for some teams, is this year on first downs, it's not on the chains. It's on the placement of the ball.
Right.
Steve Wilson, Rod Priscorn, Brad Bosbus, Dave Mastaw, I believe Charlie Gordon and Newberry's own down there getting some of his training hours in. Thank you, officials. There, I'm 1 for 1 tonight. Low
Fumble.
snap again, just scooped up, wrapped up, Hamilton, Mohar, and that will probably bring us to the half. Newberry's not going to stop it here, although they could, but we're going to wind it down, and both teams start heading for the locker room. Well, Pickford doesn't go to a locker room. They'll go huddle up in the cold, and we are at the half, right back where we started. An early start for Newberry off of the turnovers. Pickford buckles down, battles back, 26-26 as we head to the half with M123 FM and the E.U.P. Sports Network.
The Lewis County Veteran Services Office proudly advocates for our area veterans. Local Veteran Services Officer Rick Menard is ready to serve you. For all your veteran service needs, including claims, medical information, benefit coverage, and more, contact Rick Menard in the Lewis County Veteran Services Office at 293-4890. The Lewis County Veteran Services Office, proud supporters of our community. The Fish and Hunt Shop in Curtis is your award-winning Ski-Doo, Sea-Doo, and Can-Am dealer. From the water to the trails, don't take your next trip without visiting the Fish and Hunt Shop in Curtis. From sales and service to rentals and accessories, the Fish and Hunt Shop in Curtis has everything you need for your next great adventure. The Fish and Hunt Shop on Main Street in Curtis or online at fishandhuntshop.com.
Are you tired of squinting and straining to see the world around you? Dr. Derek Dake and the team at Northern Lights Vision Center in Newberry is committed to bringing the beauty of clear vision back into your life. Whether you're in need of new eyeglasses or contact lenses, Northern Lights Vision Center has many choices to choose from. Say goodbye to blurry vision and hello to a world of clarity and color. Your journey to a clearer vision starts with a simple call by calling 906-291-2015 to set up an appointment. Let Northern Lights Vision Center light up your world.
New schools will be kicking off this week in the boys soccer tournament, and participation in high school sports in Michigan continues to grow. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. This fall's MHSAA boys soccer tournament starts this week, and for the first time since the 2006-2007 school year, teams from the Upper Peninsula will be participating. For the last 16 years, the tournament was for teams in the Lower Peninsula only. This was a result of a lawsuit originally filed in 1998, where the federal court had assigned separate Upper Peninsula soccer tournaments played opposite what was done in the Lower Peninsula. In the U.P., boys were to play in the spring, while soccer is a fall sport in the Lower Peninsula. Teams in the U.P. opted to stick with the same seasons as the Lower Peninsula teams, giving up on a U.P.-only soccer tournament. A petition filed earlier this year was approved by a federal court, and that now allows for boys and girls soccer teams in the U.P. to compete in the same season as their Lower Peninsula counterparts and gives them the opportunity to play in a statewide soccer tournament. The boys' finals will be played at Grand Ledge High School, with all 4 games taking place Saturday, November 4th. Come spring, the girls' finals will take place at Michigan State University on June 14th and 15th. To follow the boys' tournament, from brackets to results, previews, and more, check out MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the last week. First up, Braden Powers of DeWitt. He headed in the lone goal in a 1-0 win over Holt. That gives the Panthers their first CAAC Gold Cup victory since 2011. Boyne City's Ava Tarsi, she had 80 assists, 12 aces, 29 digs, and 9 kills as Boyne City went 9-1 and claimed the title at the Mansalona Varsity Invite. And to Lake Orion's Billy Roberson, the senior ran for 228 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 42-21 Dragons win over Clarkston.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Director of Officiating Services, Sam Davis.
It's 4th and 10. Team A is lining up on their 25-yard line to kick a field goal. The kick is blocked backwards by Team B, never crossing the line of scrimmage. The kicker is able to scoop the ball up and takes off, getting down to the 7-yard line before being tackled. The next down should be 1st and goal from the 7 for Team A, the kicking team. 1st and 10 from the 7 for Team B, the defensive team. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Team B. If you said 1st and goal for Team A, you are correct, because the ball kicked never crossed the line of scrimmage. The kicking team is able to pick up the ball and advance it. Because it was carried past the line of gain, it's a first down.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register.
Participation in high school sports continues to outrank Michigan's high school-aged population. Michigan's 268,070 participants in the 2022-23 school year ranked the state 9th, despite having the 10th largest population. And a number of individual sports are ranked even higher. Girls sports in the top 5 are skiing, which came in 3rd, and volleyball, tennis, and bowling, which all came in 4th nationally. On the boys' side, bowling ranks 2nd, skiing 3rd, ice hockey 4th, and tennis and golf both 5th. Across the country, 11-player football is the most popular boys' sport with more than 1 million participants. Outdoor track and field is the most popular girls' sport. To see where each sport ranked and for more total participation information, please visit MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Let's hear it for the Pawpaw Girls.
The things that we do as well as any place you could get it done.
Dr. Benjamin Bryant is proud of the surgery performed at Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center and reminds you, if you've put off some procedures because of COVID, chances are the surgery team at Helen Newberry Joy can perform it right here close to home.
We have a very experienced team. I think that our outcomes speak for us in terms of the job that gets done.
The list of procedures available just minutes from home at Helen Newberry Joy is impressive.
Gallbladder surgery is very, very common. We fix hernias. We put ports in. We remove all sorts of other lesions. We do vasectomies here. I don't think the public really knows that.
So if you've been putting off a procedure, it's only a quick phone call away.
I recommend that if they have a primary care doctor, they keep that doctor in the loop. But all they have to do is either call their doctor's office or call my office and ask to be scheduled, and they get scheduled.
Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center. Your health, our passion.
It's a huge inventory reduction sale at Newberry Motors. Get a 2014 Chevy Silverado Crew 4x4 with 152,000 miles for only $19,995 or best offer. With over $2 million in pre-owned late model inventory of cars, trucks, and SUVs that gotta go. It's a huge inventory reduction sale happening now at Newberry Motors, your locally owned family-run dealer. Call 906-293-5104 or find us on South M123 in Newberry.
The Lewis County Veteran Services Office proudly advocates for our area veterans. Local Veteran Services Officer Rick Menard is ready to serve you. For all your veteran service needs, including claims, medical information, benefit coverage, and more, contact Rick Menard in the Lewis County Veteran Services Office at 293-4890. The Lewis County Veteran Services Office, proud supporters of our community.
We are back here at the half. Dan Hardenbrook, Jeff Puckett, glad to have you along. How about the pom-pom girls there at the half?
Oh, they did a fantastic job, and are there ever a lot of them? And I have the windows closed up here and could hear them very clear. I thought they did a great job, and of course, just cute as buttons.
Yeah, that's right. And you didn't have the windows closed, so you couldn't hear them. It's a little toasty with the sun down now in Newberry. But the action on the field, Coach, been red hot. Exactly what we thought we'd see. A dead even matchup between two of the very best you'll find anywhere.
I think so. Both playoff teams vying for a conference championship. Newberry, if they can win, will have a share. Otherwise, Pickford, they'll get it outright. Next week, Newberry will take on Manistee Catholic Central, and Pickford has St. Ignace at home on a Friday night. You'll be there.
I will be there.
So lots of football to see yet, but this one far from over, Dano, as we end up with a 26-26 tie. Newberry came out, jumped the lead early, and then Pickford took off, and Story took over. We had some trouble tackling them.
If you're in each locker room, what are you saying to the boys on the respective sides, and what's the big adjustment for each team here in the second half?
Well, I think with Newberry, it's just a matter of tackling. Defensively, we're there. There's no big adjustment to make. And offensively, I think that Newberry needs to continue to do what they're doing. Now, Pickford, they need to continue with that rough play up front. Continue. Story's going to get a whole bunch more carries. I don't think I'd be too worried about other guys carrying the football until they stop him. And defensively, they need to continue to try to do the best they can to contain Matthew Rowley.
Been a great matchup so far. Other games going on tonight. Manistee at Bark River. It's a big one for the Emeralds. They're just outside the playoff bubble in the 11-man football ranks. Coach Steve Pugh doing a great job over there in his second year. Rudyard in a tough one. Season on the line tonight at Gaylord St. Mary's. Brimley is at Rapid River. In 2 games tomorrow. You mentioned Cedarville Detour at Central Lake, must win for the Islanders. And Engadine looks for 5 in a row for the first time in nearly 5 full seasons. They will be at Superior Central tomorrow to take on the Cougars.
Absolutely. We've got St. Ignace at Munising tonight, and Manistee Catholic Central at Bear Lake. Crystal Falls goes to Ironwork. Lakeland and Hubble at Bessemer. And Cedarville, we had said earlier, at Central Lake. Last night a game played, Norway over Powers North Central. Both teams now 6-2, and they beat Powers 32-26. Norway now leads the Great Lakes West and are 6-0 in conference play up there, Dan.
Can't remember the last time that North Central didn't win a league title, but they're still, you might not find a better 2-loss team anywhere than those two teams. Ready to go. Newberry won the toss earlier tonight, deferred. They'll get the ball here coming out of the locker room. Thank you for joining us tonight. Low line drive kick. It's going to roll
out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Indians will take the ball, I'm assuming, there. And
I wonder when they're gonna force them to kick that again.
The spirit of The spirit of Steve Stifler is in the building tonight. Steve was here to produce the JV broadcast. Coach Dake did. We're getting A+ reviews on the camera work tonight, and it must just be because he set everything up.
Love Steve. Steve was here for the JV game. Just got back from a vacation. Love that guy.
What do they call those?
Yeah, I forget. I don't remember. Of course, I'm retired. Yeah. Dano, every day is a vacation.
Give here. Raholly inside. Bounces back outside. Good start for Matthew Raholly. It is going to be a gain of 10 and enough for a first down.
Owen McConkey makes a shoelace tackle that could have saved a touchdown right there, Dano. A great play by McConkey.
Seeing the cutback lane. Gets Newberry to midfield. Indians have not trailed in this ball game, but Pickford made a stop, down 2 scores there early in that second quarter, got some momentum back. Indians go with Nutkins in the gun. Low snap, corrals it. Newberry wants to throw the football. Deep post off the fingertips, and Kennedy Depew, hands on his head, knew he let one get away. That looked almost just like the same play the JVs ran earlier with Caden Kellogg, who let one get away.
Nothing but end zone there if he can hang on. A nice throw by Nutkins.
Gavin, his accuracy pinpoint tonight. That first touchdown throw was a beauty on a 74-yarder, but he is sticking the ball on guys, Coach.
Absolutely.
Totally different quarterback is Gavin Nutkins. When he can set his feet, he's going to find his guy. Snap here. Indians go back to their workhorse. Matthew Raholly up the gut. He's going to get a gain of 5. Third and manageable, and what may be 4-down territory here. One problem that both teams had in the first half, they both had drives stalled out where short yardage conversions turned into a long one because of a penalty.
Absolutely. Got to take a second to a big shout out to Mike and Joanna Slatt, parents of Connor, who's the water boy. I just read an article of Connor and his job and his employment.
That's right.
What a great program. Kid, great parents, great supporters of Newberry Athletics.
Fumbled snap slows everything down, and a loss of 1 will bring up a big 4th and 6 decision for the old ball coach, John Brown and the family watching out in Minot, North Dakota.
All right, Steve.
They are going to be getting ready for some college football action this weekend. Oh, fake punt. Depew. Pump
He's going
fake.
to try to run for it.
Corner. Out of room, and he's short of the first down, and Pickford holds serve. Interesting play call there, and it almost worked. One guy came through, and Depew couldn't get rid of it, had to scramble to the sideline, and now the Panthers get it back. 45-yard line, their side of the ball, and Josh Rader is going to send his team out for the first time this half.
And that's Coach Austin saying, I've got confidence in my defense.
Yep. 26.
We have to come out and tackle him either way. Yep. We better start right now.
26-26 as Pickford takes over. They'll back up their tight end into a wing. They'll go with that motion set. We've seen this a few times. They're just trying to get the Newberry defense to move around. Great push by Brian Nelson, and then a big finish. Boy, that's like getting hit by a garbage truck. Gabe Hamilton just coming down from the linebacker position.
He and Mohar came in and mopped it up. I tell you, Nelson had a great hit to come down a defensive line and made the play, but he couldn't hang on because of hard running by Story.
Kids ask me at practice all the time why I don't fill in on spots when we're short on bodies. That's why. If I got hit like that, you would have to get a shovel and bury me at the 43. That's where the Panthers get it second down after the gain of 2. They'll need 8 to move the chains. First drive of the second half. Newberry went 3 short plays. Gives, Story, spins. Good job by Kennedy Depew. One thing you're going to see from Newberry, I think a little bit more too, is Jacob Mohart, Kennedy Depew. Our back end guys are very good in run support. We're going to need the extra help.
I think so. And Gabe Luck that time came down and helped with that tackle. But you know what happens when we start sneaking guys up for run support, Dano? And you know that Coach Rader is going to see that, and Coach Kangas. and they're going to toss. So we've got to be careful and keep our head on a swivel and stay alert.
Coach Rader, I know, watched our broadcast of that St. Ignace game. He probably saw some things there. 2 receivers left. They'll go move up now. Motion, I'm assuming, is coming. There it is. And that's just, they're trying to draw a guy, and Coach Smithson. Oh, fumble. Newberry's got it.
It looks like
First
Mohar
down.
picked it up.
Jacob Mohar with the recovery.
Well, that's great, solid defense by the Indians right there. They
Sometimes
came out. I don't know
fighting for
what
a
they
yard.
said at halftime. I'm sure they told them to start the tackle, and they came out and did that, and look what happens.
Ball.
A great play. Newberry defense recovers.
Pops out there. The Indians are +3 in the turnover margin. They came in +2 overall for the season.
Let's
And
see if
now
they can
Newberry
capitalize here, Dano.
gets it back.
26-26,
42-yard line.
8:29 to go.
Snap. Give.
Rahalli.
Rahalli bounces outside. Lowers his shoulder. Flag coming in late.
Holding.
It's behind the play near the line of scrimmage. That's never a good sign if you're an offense.
Preliminary signal is holding against the Indians.
And it is on the Tribe.
So that's going to back us up 10, bring up 1st and 20.
We can't
For
hang
the
our
Indians.
heads there either, though.
No.
You see the huddle going back, and Ethan
No.
Pavey holding his arms out. You executed the play well.
You did. You did.
I
and
mean, the
sometimes
holding-
they'll call a hold.
Yeah.
Yep.
They say you can call it on every play.
Well, they say that, but they certainly saw something that impacted the play that they didn't feel was legal. And I'm not going to bitch and complain about these officials. They're doing a good job, Dano.
No, but the thing there is you just had a great play.
You did. Absolutely, you
And
did.
you got to focus on, all right, we're going to go back and get him here on this one.
Come back and do it again.
Rahalli in the gun. Matty fakes bubble. Draw a
Look at that
hole
hole.
that you could drive a
See ya.
Mack truck through. Second level. Tripped up.
What a great tackle. A shoestring tackle. I'm trying to
Maciak.
get a number. It's Maciak.
Oh, Cole Maciak
Wow, did he
is a
save another
fantastic
touchdown.
athlete.
That's his second touchdown-saving tackle, both against Rahalli. What a player.
I know Cole, a standout on that baseball team that's over in Pickford, and covering the Panthers. Gotten to see him kind of grow up and develop. He is a fantastic one, an underrated player, part of a deep junior group. There's only a couple of seniors on this year's Pickford team.
Spread out, trips to the right.
Rahalli in the gun. Guess what? Same thing. He fakes right, comes left. He's got the corner. Over, front flip, touchdown.
No,
It's going to
not
come
gonna
back.
be. It's coming back because you can't leap a player.
I don't like that. I get the rule, coach. That's a safety rule.
That one's a little bit different, I tell you, because I don't know that he's just trying to not get hit in the ankles.
Yeah.
It's not like he tried to hurdle the kid. The officials
Well, that's what I
are
say.
huddling.
And Maddie and I have had this conversation, and he got called for this a couple of times. What do I do in that play if I'm a player? What do I let the guy blow my knees out? Do I let the guy take out my ankle? Maddie's been battling foot and ankle injuries all season long.
Coach Austin and Coach Klickner are looking for some clarification. White hat comes over and gives it to him.
Yep. As a ball carrier, your feet cannot leave the ground anymore.
Okay. All right. I don't like the call, but it's the right call.
That's the rule. They didn't make them. They just enforce them.
I understand the purpose, but it's a tough one when you're used to allowing kids to play football, Dano. But we move on. First down and 7 for the Indians. Same formation.
Yep.
Snap. Bubble screen. Not Depew picks up a few. He's still fighting. Pavey gets over to try to get a block.
Flag on the play.
What are they going to call here? Somebody late, a makeup call? Nope,
Hold
nothing
on
makeup
the
about
Indians.
that. Another flag on the Indians, and it was holding they call.
That's
That came
3.
in pretty late.
Derailing what's been a pretty good drive. That's tough. I don't
frustrating.
know in the heat of the moment in a split decision what you expect a kid to do there.
So that's going to still be first down, and it's first down and 18 now for the Indians. One more penalty, and we'll be in the parking lot.
7:41 to go.
Again, we
First
get
and goal situation
we
here,
get the
correct?
fuzzy
Nope.
side of the lollipop, Dano, on that one.
First and 18 from the 18, but they got a first down stick up.
We are having a hard time executing that screen out there.
DePue's trying to get wider. He's backpedaling away from the football.
And let me tell you what I
And
just
when it leaves
saw,
your
Dano.
hand and you're trying to throw it 10 yards and the guy ends up 14, you're going to skip it like a rock on the pond.
I just saw big Hayden Raider pick DePue up and tap him on the back and then jog back to the huddle. These both teams are well coached and they're good programs, and they're both raising fine young men.
Rahali as they go empty. Maddie looks, still looks, fires, caught.
Luck.
Gabe Luck is an all U.P. defensive lineman, but he got hands, Coach.
He sure does, and he can block. He's an all-around player. And I look back and think back when Gabe was young, and he struggled. He struggled with grades. He struggled a little with behavior, but he's turned into quite the young man. That's for sure. And, man, can he play football.
Team captain. That brings up 3rd and 1. Indians twice have gotten their penalty yardage back here. This will be a big one. Get the first down. There'll be a down-to-go situation. Rahali, draw.
No surprise
it's
there.
been there. He'll punch forward. It's a first
down.
down for the Tribe.
What a chain of events, Dano. You're going to have to go. I'm going to have to go back and watch this game, this replay again, just to get through that. Should have been in the end zone. Took a penalty. Took a holding penalty. Backing us up. Make a desperation throw and get it from Luck, and then Rahali gets the first down, and the Indians are still in business. First and goal from the 7, Dano.
Football and life often go hand in hand. Sometimes you got to take 2 steps forward to go 1 or 2 steps back to get 1 step forward. Rahali wants to go wide, ducks a defender. Touchdown, Indians. No,
get your hands up, they do.
Oh, I thought the official was waving him down.
And the Indians break the tie.
Indians back on top, 32-26.
That is some fortitude being shown by this Newberry Indian football team. Huge PAT coming up here.
Indians about 60% for the year on their point after tries. We're going to show little Kadudi motion. They jam Rahali, back corner there, knocked away. 58, the big fella in coverage is Eli McDowell, and he just bats it out of the air, and the Indians will kick it back to the Panthers, back up by 6.
Hate to see him give the ball back to that Panther offense, Dano. They are explosive, and they can run hard. I would expect to see nothing different, although the Indians, that last series, played it a lot tougher than they did in the second quarter.
They're hanging on and rallying to the football. It's not a one-man show.
It's not. People aren't standing and watching other people tackle, that's for sure. But there'll be no quitting in this Pickford team. I don't care what the score is. They want that conference championship. They want home for the playoffs. They want it all, and they're going to go out and get it, Dano. And if Newberry wants it, they're going to have to take it.
It's a battle of wills. I see a lot of Pickford players, hands on the hips, Coach. They're frustrated because they know they've made a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes tonight. Newberry's made some as well.
Let's see if we can get some good coverage here.
Sometimes you forget there's 16 and 17-year-old kids out there.
That's right.
Give here on the scoop. They're going to go left side. Nice job on the corner. Out of bounds. DePue diving in to help make the stop.
About the
that's a
40-yard
quick
line.
Turn of the corner from Gunnar Bennett.
And that's a good return by Bennett. First and 10, Pickford, 32-26 Indians. Just punched one in after a series of events that I just can't describe. You're going to have to watch it again.
Falls into their lap. Big play. Holding penalty. Big play. Hurdling penalty. Big play. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Pickford, your turn. Your response. See what the Panthers do here. Newberry's got an extra guy in the box. Give up the middle. Was that a 50?
That looked like a 50.
They threw an extra guy down.
I like to see Coach Mendoza mix it up, trying to confuse blocking schemes.
Pickford's outside guy has shown bubble fake, but they haven't faked the pass to him.
Not yet.
He's showing bubble. But Newberry, that time, just put an extra guy down on the wide side.
Here we
They'll
go.
stay
Double
42
tight.
here.
This is we're coming at you
Yep.
offense.
Oh,
And they
Hamilton
do.
blew it up. Good job at the second level.
And that's the kind of defense we saw in that first quarter, Dano, right there.
Matty Rahali wraps up story, but that's Gabe Hamilton shooting off the ball. It's like he launched himself from the linebacker position to the backfield. And all of a sudden the line sees that big locomotive coming. They start to scramble to try and bail and pick him up, and the linebackers are there for an easy cleanup. Team football again by the Indians defense.
Got to get your head on a swivel here. Pickford has to get the first down on this third down. And they move.
That's
Motion
a big one.
penalty on the Panthers, and that'll just kill the drive.
Well, we saw Newberry increase the difficulty last drive. Pickford will be third here and about 11 now after the penalty. Coach Mendoza, I'm at practice, been there every day this season, and he tells his guys, he came over and told my middle school team this year, defense isn't about being a hero. It's not about one guy flying around making all the tackles. You got to flow to the football. You got to pursue. You got to wrap up and hang on. Do your job. It's a team game on defense. Little I formation look here with Rounds.
Fake pass.
Fakes. Mohar
missed him.
Pursuit there. Check down. Complete.
First down.
In room after the catch. It's a big gain. Big block. Flag
coming back on the clip.
But it's a first down. I almost knocked the camera out of the window. I apologize. I was behind the play. And there's a Newberry player down.
Cramped, it looks like. They're doing the cramp stance.
Right in front of Coach Austin and Coach Klickner. Gavin Nutkins got walled off there. Was that a clip?
It was.
I wasn't sure if that
not
was.
Until they got the first down.
Wasn't sure if that was blocked in the back. On 3rd and 11, they come up right now.
If Mohar can make that tackle,
it's good
they're
for
punting.
40. It was almost a sack for a loss of 7.
Pickford fought through and got the first down.
Rahali is going to come get some water. Connor Slack going to help stretch him out. He's more than just a water boy.
He certainly is.
Megan Burton down there, one of our recent grads, is a physical training student. So, it is a first down. After the penalty and the long pass, it nets Pickford about 18, but enough to keep the drive going.
32-26, Newberry, 5 minutes to go in the third.
Both of these teams handling the adversity. Give here, it's Bennon. Launch through. He'll get a gain of about 6. Different look here with Rounds under center.
DePue and Luck on that tackle. Hold them to about 5 yards. Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Panthers. Still solid play up front by both the offensive and defensive line here. Kind of a delay that time by the tailback. Took a couple steps to the right and then took the hand up and then picks the hole where he's going to go.
High formation again. 2nd and 6. 4:19 to play here in the third. Newberry, the only score of the half. They're up by 6. Give here. Oh, ankle tackle broken. Gunnar Bennon. End zone. Touchdown Panthers. Guard Kangas, not just a defensive coordinator. He's a track coach, and he knows Bennon can go, and he does.
Bennon sure took off like a rocket on that one, and nobody from Newberry was close.
That's the first diving ankle tackle. That's the first one we've had of the half. And a big penalty, a couple of them. One, put him 3rd and long. One, took about 30 yards off of a deep pass play, but Pickford answers back.
And we're tied again, Daniel.
Not the last time.
PAT becomes pretty important here. 4:07 to go.
Pickford trying to get their first lead of the night on the 2-point try. Straight ahead for Story, bottled up.
There.
Man, the Indians have been really good in the
Tough
trenches.
Inside. Gabe Luck in there hitting.
on
Along
those
with the big man Pavey
2-point tries.
and Nelson. Nutkins, they were all in there. They knew that stop had to be made, and it was.
So, 32-32.
32-32.
We had debates on the over-under for this one. There's no debate on the spread. This thing is going to be tight
It's going to
the whole way.
tight, that's for sure. And I was way under at 40. My friend Tommy Rahali said 80, and I tell you what, we just might get there.
You said first team to 40.
You did say that.
He did.
So we'll see. 4:07 to go in this third quarter. And I tell you, this game hasn't disappointed anywhere. It hasn't slowed down anywhere, Daniel.
And there's still 16 minutes and change of game time left. Who knows? We've seen a season's worth of stuff tonight.
We sure have.
McDonald the kick. He sent a couple deep. He sent a couple short. Matty Rahali is deep back. Indians do cheat up their second line. Short kick. Oh, Tally Cox, good job. Goes and gets it. A man learning the game. One of those guys along with the Chris Hobson and, and Ethan Stilson.
He showed good hands there, Daniel.
Yep, a Hamilton. A lot of improvement by these guys who haven't played a lot of football in their careers, either new to the team or new to the sport in the past couple of seasons.
Well, he's well coached there, that's for sure. He knew exactly what to do.
I like that he didn't wait.
Hands on it.
It got by him. He didn't stand around and do nothing.
He grabbed it and got down.
I'm going to go get that ball so my second line doesn't have to come up.
Rahali off the right side.
Bounces off.
He could be gone.
Ripped out of bounds. Hold on for the ride. Number 60, Eli McDowell, said, no further, sir.
Well, I've got a Eli McDonald and a Eli McDowell.
That was 60. My bad, McDowell.
Both juniors. One 170, one 220. They grown big over there in Pickford.
Heydays used to be their big festival. I think that's the team workout.
That's for sure.
Give here. Rahali up the middle. Matty straight ahead. He is gone. Touchdown. And Maciag was back there. 34. Owen McConkey. They couldn't get the shoelaces that time. Punch, counter punch. Indians back on top. 38-32.
No flags that time for sure. The Indians' offensive line busted a big hole. Rahali found it and took off, and he was gone. So, 38-32, Daniel. PAT still huge here. Let's see if Newberry can get one in. They covered the Kadudi well last time.
We'll go Rahali. No, fake. Nutkins inside. Stop short. So it stays 38-32. It might be the next team to get a 2-point conversion.
It might be. 3:51 to go in the quarter. What a football game, but Pickford's going to take over here. We'll see if Newberry can make something happen here on the kickoff to hold Pickford to a slow return.
$3:51 to go. So, Pickford, your turn.
Absolutely. But it sure has been back and forth, Daniel. Two fantastic football teams. We knew we would see that here tonight, and we haven't been disappointed.
I didn't think that we would see a better game than what I saw with Rudyard and Pickford a few weeks ago. And then I saw Newberry and St. Ignace.
Great game.
There's no way I can see a game better than that.
You can't. And
here we are.
We're seeing one tonight. Beef stew kicking off. Let's see if we can get some foot into it.
Oh, whoa, line drive skipper. Fielded nice by the Panthers. They'll bring it back here. Good blocking at the second level. But the Indians flow to the football. Lane integrity is the name of the game on that one.
Decent field position, though, still for Pickford.
These two teams, Coach, they could line up in McMillan and Holbert and gain yards. And it's not bad defense.
No, it's not. They're both playing solid defense.
We're getting blockers
Just
downfield.
hard
We're
running.
getting guys to the second level. We're getting guys not stopping.
Good offensive plays, good offensive blocking.
They should have Pickford stay home and start their drives over there, and we
And
start our
Newberry
drives.
here, that's
we'll
right.
meet in Strong's. This has been a battle of two Titans. Rounds, handoff. Give there.
Mohar, Pavey on the tackle.
I am curious. I don't know if the Panthers are setting us up here. They have gone with this I formation look with Rounds, and Story is not the fullback anymore.
No. Second down and 8.
A one-man wrecking crew. And as soon as I say something, Josh Rader makes me look like a fool.
And there he is.
The horse for the Panthers, Story. Indians with 4, probably bringing a 5th. Draw. Bottled up. Oh, man,
Everybody
Pavey
that time.
finished the job.
Wow.
Gabe Luck, Matthew Rahali, and who's on the bottom? Brian Nelson.
Wow, it's like he hit a brick wall that time. And Nelson and Pavey.
He hit a brick wall, and then the brick wall hit back.
Wow. Third down and 8. Now they gave him a yard. We'll call it 7. Don't be surprised if we see that little pass play that they've had success running.
Little backside screen, too.
Could be.
And Story, we have not seen him throw it. Rounds has been the guy to throw the few plays they have, but Story, he can chuck it, man. Crowd getting into it. Indians go with 4. They spread their backers out. They're protecting sideline. Fake sweep, counter. Nelson missed it. It'll be 4th down at midfield. Nelson missed them. Pavey tried to bear pawn.
Gabe Luck got him.
But Gabe Luck wraps it up. Oh, boy, 4th and 3 from the midfield strike.
For this. They don't want to let Newberry's offense back on the field either. Here comes Story.
1:48 to go. No movement. That's one thing you got to look at here.
Big play here for both teams.
They're going to go in the eye. Don't be surprised if Rounds keeps it. Their JVs loved that play earlier.
They try to draw.
Whistle, flag.
He wasn't in the.
I didn't see anybody even move.
Boy, that's a tough
Jim
call.
Myers on the far
They're
side.
calling offsides on Newberry. That's tough.
False start.
Illegal motion against Pickford. I didn't see that either.
I didn't see anybody move.
But it comes out on the side of the Indians, and they'll back up 5. And will that change Raiders' call?
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either. I think he's going to run that pass play that he's completed twice for first downs. We haven't defended it well yet. Here they go.
They have the punter. How deep is he? He's at 12. They're in punt formation. That doesn't mean they won't fake it. But it's a lineman who boots it away. And they kick it away from Rahali. That is perfect execution. A big roll. And down to the 14-yard line. And A+ on special teams for the Panthers.
Excellent execution by the Panthers. Newberry close to a block there. But they get the punt off. Rahali smartly walks away and lets it roll. And Newberry will take over 1st and 10 on their own 14. Newberry up 38-32 at 1:21 left in the third, Dano.
You know I'm getting tense. Furniture's moving.
I see you're standing up. That means I'm not going to be
The
sitting
only problem
much
with this press box is there's 2 ends on it. So I'm like a caged animal. Nutkins. Snap. Rahali. Cut back. Breaks another tackle. Ooh, 2 Panthers go head to head. Hopefully they're okay.
They both get up and they're fine.
Yeah. Again, I'd be out for the count.
2nd and 6 for the Indians.
You'd be calling Joe Smithson.
We bring Joe on, dust him off, and bring him out of the cupboard.
Let him finish coaching.
And get him back
Just
on
drag
air.
me off to the side.
54 seconds. It looks like we're going to try to get one more playoff here before the quarter.
2nd and 6 here. Rahali. They go trips to the right. A flag. What do we got?
I believe that we have illegal procedure. We got
Yep.
an offensive lineman bouncing around a little bit. We never could get set up there for some reason. So it's going to bring up second down and about 11 now for the Indians.
You can't have that, man. 39.9. I was watching the receivers. I always like to see how they're lined up to see who's eligible, and I missed the movement up front. But it is a penalty on Newberry. We've seen a few of these. Rahali. Gun. Bubble draw. And Pickford sent two guys right at him. They'll wrap him up. It'll be 3rd and long. We'll see how quick Newberry wants to go here. I would run it down. But then again, that's why I'm here.
That's right. I'm sure they're gonna let that run out. And it's going to be fourth quarter with Newberry up 38-32.
They're going to send them back to the sidelines. So we step aside. Fourth quarter and an instant classic between the Panthers and the Indians when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's M123 FM and the E.U.P Sports Network.
The Fish and Hunt Shop in Curtis is your award-winning Ski-Doo, Sea-Doo, and Can-Am dealer. From the water to the trails, don't take your next trip without visiting the Fish and Hunt Shop in Curtis. From sales and service to rentals and accessories, the Fish and Hunt Shop in Curtis has everything you need for your next great adventure. The Fish and Hunt Shop on Main Street in Curtis or online at fishandhuntshop.com.
Back here as we get you ready for the fourth quarter. Newberry getting stretched out. The answer to that question is yes. Or no. He's over there. Mohar. Cold. That knee is probably a little stiff.
The rest of the standings in the Great Lakes 8 Conference, right now, Pickford on top, Newberry number 2, Red Yard 3, Munising 4, Brimley 5, Rapid River 6, and Superior Central at 7. The playoff point leader in Division 8-player Division 1 is Brown City, Dano, at 7-0. Pickford is number 2 at 7-0. So if Newberry can hang on and pick up a win here, lots of playoff points.
Yeah, but look how close everybody is.
Everybody's close.
You could go from 2 to the bubble based on one night.
That's the way it was last week when I looked at it.
The 4 teams to keep an eye on will be Pickford, St. Ignace, Newberry, and Norway. That's going to be a group of 4. It's what order will they be in? Although there's no guarantees next week. Give here. They go around the edge to Rahali, head over heels.
Pushed out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain.
Gain of 6. It's going to be 4th down, and the Panthers are going to get this football back.
See if we can get this kicked out of bounds over here, if it was me, towards our bench, but we'll see.
Who's that back? 20. Gunnar Bennon. We've seen him break free on some runs tonight. Indians.
Depew to punt.
Set it up here. Snap. High. Right on the middle. Depew angles it. Nice one there. Hopped. Fielded at the 48. Everybody kind of just stopped, thinking it was going to go out of bounds. And Gunnar Bennon, heads up play, got 10 extra yards out of that.
That's a mistake by the Indians and a heads up play by the Panthers.
So where they spot it? 38-yard line, 1st and 10. So a 12-yard return on a ball that everybody thought was kind of going out of bounds.
Let's see if Newberry can answer again defensively.
Story with that double wing to the right side. Got to watch the backside. He tried to counter, and he's wrapped up. Gabe Hamilton, Jacob Mohar, Pavey plugging the cutback lane. That's not a good choice, Pavey or Hamilton.
No yards there that time. Big stop by the Indians.
11:25 to go. Clock runs here in the fourth quarter of a 38-32 ball game. Indians got up early off a couple of turnovers. Pickford rallied back with a couple of big stops in the second quarter. Newberry off a turnover again took the lead in the third. Oh, Story fakes dive, goes past, deep ball, Bullet, caught. Oh, pass interference coming. Newberry's had a handful of these, and that's the anger that you're hearing in the background from the fans right below us, and you're seeing with the Newberry coaching staff. They've had coach one or two of these, it seems like, every week.
Pass interference. We had it covered up pretty well with double coverage. I couldn't see it. I was looking back here at the line play, so I didn't really see what happened down there. But they called interference against the Indians. That's going to be 15 and a first down, I believe. So that'll move the chains, and it was Pickford's turn to get a break.
10:59 to go. First down, Panthers. 24-yard line. That's a good ball from Story.
It was.
He just showed you that he can throw it. Snap. Oh, he broke free from Pavey. Story down inside the 5. It'll be first and goal coming up for the Panthers.
Tackle by Nutkins and saved the touchdown. Another great run by Story. Newberry having people in position. Boy, you just can't let up on that guy. He is hard-nosed and tough, and he can run.
You get away from Ethan Pavey, you know you're tough. Story. Single back to his right. 2 tight ends, receiver wide. That's just to clear space. Straight ahead.
The middle.
Story bottled up. Pushed forward. He's short. Down to the 2.
Nelson had him right there, right off the snap, but couldn't hang on to those hard driving legs of Story.
Second down and goal to go. The Indians have been good in this spot, primarily 2-point conversions. Coach Mendoza sending in a signal. Panthers line up. Everybody's tight here. Double wing again to the near side. Story will follow him. Sideline, corner. He's in for the score.
Us to the corner. In for the score, and we're tied again with 9:46 to go, Dan.
38-38. Newberry keeps going up. Pickford keeps answering in a back-and-forth battle.
That interference penalty really stunned for the Indians.
But again, it's how you approach it.
It is. How will we react?
We made the play, all right?
Here we go.
Yep, Pickford.
Double bug to the right.
I have an idea where they're going. And I have an idea who's toting the rock. Story, pass. They all came, and it's wide open. Conversion's good. And for the first time tonight, with 9:46 to play, the Panthers go on top 40-38.
So it'll be the Indians' turn. We'll see how they answer. Pavey comes out disgusted. Helmet's off, and I can see him stomping mad. He's ready to get back in there.
Do want to mention, too, before I forget, tomorrow, for the first time ever, soccer comes to the E.U.P Sports Network, the Northern Lights League Conference Tournament. Those are schools that aren't big enough to play football, but interesting to see that. The league tournament up in Grand Marais.
Good to see those kids able to get involved with a team sport.
I don't know if I could play it, even in my prime.
I know I cannot.
Which is like a sunrise.
If I can't wear a helmet and shoulder pads, it's not my kind of game.
All right, Newberry, your turn.
Here we go. Scrambling kick.
Mohar falls on it.
Mohar falls on it. Newberry has good field position. About the 41.
9:45 to go. I still don't think either side has to change their game plan, Coach. It's going to be about who executes better.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see anything different. Well, let's see.
We're probably going to see something crazy because we both said that.
Well, we'll see what Coach Austin picks out.
Who puts these chairs here?
I don't know, but we don't really need them. Could only sit so long, and I got to get up and kick something.
Got my foot hog-tied to a chair leg.
Snap.
Raholly.
Raholly.
Outside zone. Stretches it. Stiff arm. Gets the corner. Out of bounds. Tough run for Raholly. Looked like 4. Nothing wrong with that. 4 will keep you moving. 4 will keep the ball. 56. That must have been 58 McDowell on the stop. Pickford big, strong, and physical.
Everybody uptight. Wouldn't be surprised to see him throw here, Daniel.
2nd and 6. Nutkins fake. Oh, deep post. Luck shoved down.
Looks like we're going to get our own interference call.
And that was just a clear, two-handed cross check.
Yeah,
the big fella, McDonald, he's not used to playing in pass coverage. Good play call to try and get a mismatch.
So that changes the field for the Indians. They'll get 15 and a first down.
Pickford not happy, livid like Newberry was on the last drive. Those flags came early. There was probably some hand checking going on the whole way
down the field.
But as the ball approached, McDonald just wiped out.
He just
Luck.
shoved him.
Hey, don't take a chance there because if
Luck
Luck catches that.
And McDonald, he didn't. To his credit, he didn't argue. He knew.
He already got a flag, but if Luck catches it, the penalty gets declined to get the yardage.
Yes, you got to continue.
Oh, Raholly and Depew smacked into each other. Matty keeps going. He's back to the line of scrimmage, and things got crisscrossed in the applesauce there.
That might be one of the hardest hits of the game.
That might be the bone.
Raholly colliding in the backfield.
The bone-crunching hit of the game might be friendly fire tonight.
That's the hardest hit I've seen. 9:28 to go. Pickford on top, 40-38 in the fourth quarter.
Give Matty credit. Staying on balance.
And took off running.
And Depew went and got a block.
He did. So 2nd and 10 now for the Indians.
Empty here. 4 receivers. Raholly spins, rolls out. Deep ball. Looking. Has Depew. Down inside the 10. 1st and goal for Kennedy Depew.
About the 8-yard line, Dano.
He was quiet most of the night against St. Ignace, but picked his spot and had the game winner. And Kennedy Depew, averaging almost 30 a catch, comes up with a big one again.
It's a heck of a nice play by Raholly to see that middle linebacker blitz coming, step out and roll to the right. Lineman picked up everybody else.
That looked like a guy we love watching on Saturdays, Coach.
That sure does.
Down in Ann Arbor.
That sure does.
Stretch that play, extend it with your feet. He gets to the sideline. Defender stops thinking he's going to run, and he just popped it over his head.
Absolutely.
Nutkins.
Here we go again.
Raholly cuts back. Beautiful. Touchdown
again.
Matty Raholly is having an all-timer of a game tonight.
Well,
Newberry. Check.
44-40. This is a must-have PAT. You got to get this one to make it 40-46, which will force Pickford, if they score again, to go get that 2
if
points.
you don't get it, now you're risking falling down 2 scores.
Is over. That's right. Nutkins brings it in.
I can't believe I get paid to do this.
So much fun. I tell you, these two teams are a joy to watch.
Two-point try here. Indians go power, keeper, and I mean, they push that thing all the way to the school.
That was it. The butt push, and they're in. They look like the Philadelphia Eagles there, and we're in the end zone. 46-40 Newberry. 8:44 to go in the fourth quarter. And the fireworks go off.
Thank goodness they put this chair here.
Pavey comes out. Now he's stomping, but I think he's stomping because he's happy. He better get a quick drink because he doesn't leave the field very often.
Okay.
Well,
Pickford, you're up.
Here we go. Pickford, your turn. Wow.
I don't know what else to say. That's just
No, you can't.
Point, counterpoint, punch, counterpunch.
It's coming down to these point after tries.
The only thing that's going to be disappointing as an 8:44, this thing's going to be over.
Oh, man.
I could watch these two teams
Going
play
like
for
this,
a year
You
straight.
could just continue to watch this.
I don't like going back and watching my own work.
All right, who's kicking here?
It's Rahali.
Rahali to kick.
It was not kicked since the first or second week of the season. He is healthy. They just haven't needed him to.
Everybody moves up. They
With
got one guy deep.
Here's the
He
boot.
booms it.
That's what you want. Oh, great catch there by Benning. Kept it out of the end zone. Walk, Depew, Rahali. How about Chris Hobson?
Hobson.
Flag
Depew
on the
coming
far
down.
side, and a hold is going to come
Hold is gonna
against
be
the
called
Panthers.
against the Panthers to back them up 10 from the spot.
Newberry's thinking touchback there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bennon
That's a
snatches that
Bennon
thing
made a
on the
great
shoulder
catch
at the 8.
and took off on a dead run.
So we'll see where the flag comes in. They're going to
Hold
spot
from the spot.
So the flag's at the ball. Oh, Josh Rader. Ben Rahali, with what's left of his voice, gives a "Let's Go Boys" chant. Josh Rader, he's not going to blow up on a kid. He's not going to lose his temper. But he is going to think about that one here.
He will.
That might be on his mind all the way back to Pickford.
So it backs him up to the 22.
But penalties have not derailed either team. They've
They
just
haven't. They
they've
haven't
just
derailed
made the
either
yardage
team.
further.
No, you're correct, Dano.
Single receiver to the left.
Start.
Straight ahead. Gabe Hamilton, Ethan Pavey, playing like his life depends on it.
Rahali.
Matthew Rahali.
Baby. And Beef Stew comes in and forces him to the ground. They pick up a couple.
It is 46-40. My apologies on the score ticker.
2nd and 8.
They left me too many
You got a lot
tasks
to do
here.
over there, Dano.
Computers and cameras.
You're running
and
cameras and
I was getting compliments for my work, and now all three are falling apart.
2nd and 8.
Snap. They're coming sweet.
They hook her
Good
in, but
job
he
by
fights through it.
Nelson. Oh, we
still
missed.
can't tackle him. Another failed tackle. Finally, we get him down. He's close to the first down marker.
Brian Nelson did not quit on that play. He got engaged, but he
First
steered his
down for the
blocker
Panthers.
into the path of the run, and then he misses. Rahali misses. Mohar misses. And Story waves the magic wand like only he can.
A great run. So, 1st and 10 again for Pickford.
Counter. Sweep. Oh, we missed it again.
Rahali missed
Out
it.
of bounds.
Finally, he's shoved out of bounds
To
by
midfield.
Mohar and Luck. But not before a Pickford
Matty.
first down.
Look at Matty walking back.
I had him,
smacking
and
his
he was
hands,
gone.
shaking his head. 7:20 to go. Clock stops. Ball right at midfield. Why not? You thought it was over? Huh? Very funny.
7:20 and running.
We probably, who knows what we'll see in the next 7:20. I
46.
don't even want to speculate.
Newberry getting lined up.
Oh, single wing this time with two tight ends. Counter, flip to Bennon.
Same play the other way.
Nice
It's
job.
a little different formation.
Yep.
But
They
he picks
just
up 4.
move a wing to a tight end, and chest is starting to hurt.
Second down and 6 for the
4 down
Panthers. They
territory
continue
the
to
rest
fight
of the
through.
way.
Story brings the play to the huddle.
Unbelievable contest between these two teams. And a record number of you are seeing it tonight here on M123 FM and the E.U.P Sports Network. Panthers, 2 to the left. They'll fake the counter. Blown up.
Nobody fooled.
Hamilton and Nelson, backside, hold strong.
Big loss for the Panthers on a good defensive play by the Indians.
We'll see where the forward progress goes It's a loss of 4. 3rd and 9 coming up here. Perfectly played. But I'm not counting them out yet.
No, I wouldn't. 6:02 and running.
Ball just across midfield. Indians spread out their D-line. Jet motion. They'll fake it. Story, flat pass, wide open. Cut back. First down, Panthers. Kennedy Depew, the stop, and there's just nobody there. They jetted across to then go to the tight end on a little flat pass there. We bumped everybody over to help shift the coverage on the jet. And Story, just a little check down. Sometimes the simplest ones are the most effective.
That's been open more than once tonight. And Coach Rader, I think, kind of saving it, throwing that way till just now when he needed it and used it.
He pulled some rabbits out of this hat, man, against Rudyard there a few weeks ago in that game. Straight ahead plunge. Story, straight ahead for 5.
That's just a good offensive line charge and hard running by Story.
We'll be under 5 at the next snap, and Coach is Josh Rader now at the point where he's playing that counterbalance of how aggressive do I want to be? How much time do I want to leave left?
Yep. Yeah, he is. He doesn't want to leave time for Newberry's offense to get back on the field. The snap.
Single wing to the right side. Straight forward the draw. Story breaks a tackle. Depew tries to chase him down. Story fighting. End zone.
That's just hard nose. I want to get in the end zone, and he does. What a run by Story.
His jersey grew 3 sizes.
So
Pickford has tied it again, 46-46.
Wow. 4:38 left in the game, and this could be the what a PAT the pressure on here, Dano. Good Lord.
They're not going to kick it. Pickford's try after. Unbelievable matchup between these two teams. Story got a head start, but he did not get in.
Pavey said no.
German suplexes him.
He took him and threw him back into the backfield. What a defensive play by Pavey. And it remains tied 46-46, 4:38 to go. And it's the Indians' turn, Dano.
Good thing we got a medic up here.
Holy cow.
Although his BP ain't any better than the rest of us.
No, I don't think we can rely on Joe for much.
Who put this chair here?
I don't know, but it's not going to last there very long.
It's about to go out the window.
Maybe chucks a water bottle across on the sidelines. I don't know if he's excited or angry.
Both.
Either one, I'm going to stay away from him.
Both. I don't think Jude Taylor's down there as the calming influence.
I don't think so. I think they're both down there. And Coach Mendoza's down there talking to him, telling him the thing that's got to be done.
So 4:38 to go.
Here we go.
Both teams, where are we at on timeouts?
I think it's 3-3.
Tommy
Rahali helps us.
I can't remember
our lead
stuff like
official
that.
from the other side. He can do anything over there, and he's helping us. 3-3 on each side, 4:38 to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Here we go, the kick.
The run and the kick. Rahali is going to run one down. He's going to get a chance to return it from the 8. He came near side. Broke a tackle. Matty Rahali. He could go all the way. He gone. Matty Rahali, 92 yards. I can't believe it.
Well, and that's why you don't kick it to him. That's why you don't kick it to him. Right there. Well, I'm glad that we scored it there, Dan. But I wish that would have taken 4 minutes off the clock.
That took.
Dan, I'm hooked up on this chair. Throw that son of a out of here. There we go. Good Lord.
Pickford, that's 2 yards too short. and stopped on the yard marker on the right-hand side.
You can't stop it all.
Oh, I can't figure it out. Computer's still going. We're still on.
What a play.
Newberry's try. And
I don't think anybody knows what was going on there. I think we're trying to run that bubble again.
Yeah. Yep.
We just haven't had success running it the whole night. Okay.
52-46. Pickford, you're on the clock.
For your turn, Pickford. 4:25 to go.
I don't
96 points scored so far.
And there's still 4 minutes left. We might get 96 before it's over.
And Matty Rahaly runs the kickoff back. It's over 80. Tom came in and helped me, and he went over 80, and he's going to win there.
First team to 40.
He did.
That might be the first to 60.
It could be right here.
I don't know if I've seen a performance like this. And it's not just one guy.
No. There's good football play all over.
But my goodness, Matty Rahaly, I'm going to look like I'm in the Matrix doing stats for this football game this weekend.
Rahaly to kick again to Bennett.
They wanted that ball to go out of bounds, and it just sat at the 8-yard line. Rahaly scoops and scores. Now Bennett, guess what? From the 8-yard line, breaks a tackle out across to the 35-yard line.
So Newberry comes out to play defense. Here comes Big Pavey, Gabe Luck, Nelson, Beef Stew, and the rest of them. Depew, Mohar, and Rahaly on the field to see if they can stop Story and the rest of the Pickford Panthers. What a ball game.
The world has stopped to watch the end of this football game.
I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am.
I broke my back on the chair.
Thank you for tuning in tonight.
All right. Pickford. They've got a different guy spread out wide here. They'll go wing with two tight. They go counter. Back to Bennett on that little shuffle. Big
Bennett,
block.
he breaks it.
Big gain. Bennett. He's gone.
He scores on a long play.
Unbelievable. Gunnar
Oh,
Bennett.
my gosh.
65 yards.
And we still have 4:08 left in this game. 52-52. 104 points scored here so far, Dano.
The score ticker is smoking.
With 4:08 still to play in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. Again, Bennett goes 65 yards.
PAT.
I see ya and I raise ya.
I see ya and I raise ya. PAT 2 here attempt. Will they try the middle again? Will they throw? Will they try to run to the corner?
Unbelievable.
Story.
Indians tighten
Snap.
up. Story.
He heads over to the corner. Stops. Throws way
comes
back.
Great play.
Broken up.
Incomplete.
Over there by, is that Mohar?
It is.
Mohar breaks
Josh
it up.
Rader wants a penalty. He's not happy.
Well, I didn't see any penalty from up here. I saw just pretty good defense.
So is it 52-52?
52-52.
4:08 to go. That is the third touchdown in the last 30 seconds of game time.
Big hello to my friend Aaron Chamberlain. He's watching. He's enjoying Matty Rahaly's performance, and he's enjoying both sides of this football game. Both teams exhausted they're going to be at the end, that's for sure. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? My friend Tony Emma, what a game. He says, Tone's watching. Chris Bolio, he's still there watching. He and his wonderful wife watching great football here tonight on M123 FM, the E.U.P Sports Network, and the Newberry News.
A guy we know and love, Freddie Bryant, wanted me to tell you hi, Coach.
I love that
They
guy.
play Marquette tomorrow. Good luck to the Vikings.
They got a huge new stadium down there. Thanks to Coach Bryant and his hard work down there. Gosh, I miss him here.
Short kick, high chopper. Played well, covered up.
Covered by Depew, and we're going to play offense.
4:07 to go. My goodness gracious, oh my.
2 scores in what, 40 seconds?
3 and 30.
Oh, my gosh.
4:38 to go. Pickford tied it up. Then Matty Raholly with a kick return. Then Pickford comes back with a 65-yarder of their own. We have seen 3 touchdowns in 31 seconds of game time.
They didn't kick to Raholly that time.
Snap, Nutkins. Fake, roll out, throws, drag. Oh, just a touch behind
Mohar on the run.
Stuck him in the ear hole, and he couldn't get the hands up.
He
in
was
time.
excited to run and didn't take the ball with him.
Had nothing but grass in front of him.
Big hello, my friend Brendan Walker. He's out west. He's out in Wyoming doing his thing. Timex, how you doing, brother? I hope all is well, and I hope you're enjoying this game as much as I am.
4:02 to go. Clock stops with the incomplete pass. Both teams do have all of their timeouts. And now Newberry fights that battle.
Here we go. 4:02.
Trips. Or no, they go empty. 2 receivers each side. Raholly. Little jet motion to Pugh. Give to him. Kennedy's got a lane. Good job there defensively by the Panthers. 58.
Eli McDonald.
Old McDonald had a farm in Pickford, and he ripped down Depew on that one.
He third made a nice play right there because Depew, if he can bust that crack that he had there, he's still running. But McDonald said, no, not today, not on my watch, and made the play.
3rd and 8. Fireworks flying in Newberry. Good sports are the Panthers. They didn't call the cops on us like the Saints did.
That's for sure.
Oh, worm burner on the snap. Raholly looks up. It's all purple and white. He throws it. Incomplete pass.
Whew. Okay.
That's a good play by Matty. That's a 20-yard loss. Just chuck it up. He tried to get it to Depew, but also close enough to the sideline where it wouldn't get intercepted. And, Coach, you look like you want to break stuff.
Oh, 4th down. Oh, my.
43-yard line. Indians will show punt.
A big shout out to the DeRusha camp. Uncle Pierre, Uncle Terry, and the rest of the DeRushas out listening tonight. Hope you're enjoying the ball game.
Depew on a clean snap. Good protection. Hammers it. Caught.
Block.
Bennon makes one miss. Raholly. Oh, what a hit by Mohar.
Mohar comes in and puts a hammer
Dr.
on
Brian Stoyanov.
Wow.
At Northern Star Chiropractic says that's the bone crunching hit of the game.
That's got to be it right there. Oh, my goodness.
3:07 to go. Pickford takes over, and Bennon is hurt. Well, I don't know hurt. He's sore. I don't think he can be hurt.
You won't take him out of the game. He's all right.
You're going to have to run somebody over with the bus to get him out of this ball game.
You won't get Ben out of here. He's been too tough all game. He's too tough right now, and I tell you what, he's going to be tough for the next 3 minutes.
1st and 10, 32-yard line. All 3 timeouts for the Panthers. They've been here before. Week 5 against Rudyard. They fake that sweep. Go to Story. Huge hole. Story, a gain of 9. They're going to say out of bounds at the 40. Spot at the 41. 2nd and 1 coming up.
Second down and short. 2:42 to go and running. 52-52. Conference championship on the line. Home field for the playoffs. Here we go.
Give here. Bennon, 1st down. Mohar lays into him. 1st down, 49-yard line, Pickford side of the field for now.
They're banging out 1st downs
left
and right here, Dano.
I'll give one to Pickford, Mike Collins. The former AD, his son Mac. We saw
I remember him.
The JV ball game.
I remember Mr. Collins.
If he went home, he's probably turning around. People may still be driving.
Here we
go.
Still
time to come down. 2:08 and counting. Snap.
Counter.
They'll go back to Bennon. Good blocks downfield, 2 of them. and out of bounds for the Panthers, who are marching with 1:59 to go. Out of bounds. Clock will stop.
Another first down. That Pickford offensive line is playing their tail off. Their backs are running hard. You can see why they're undefeated, Dana, and why they're leading the conference. But you can see why we're right in it, too.
First and 10. 33-yard line. Panthers with Story all alone. Indians show blitz. Story lost his footing. Still manages to fall forward. Breaks free. Story, corner. Raholly drags him down at the 11. They'll spot him at the 10. And somehow, Tommy Story, who loses his footing on the snap, could have went down 2 yards in the backfield, somehow squirts out and gains 23.
It's almost as if we stop on the play for some reason. It's what we saw towards the end of the third quarter.
1:49 to go.
Well, we got 9 yards to snap out of it.
He was inside, so they run the clock here. Pickford may take this thing down here. Story.
Counter.
Bennon. He found a second wind.
Score.
Touchdown, Panthers. Gunnar Bennon, the sophomore.
All right.
Panthers on top.
So they go up 58-52. And here we go. PAT. Try. Big stop for the Indians. Everything matters right now, Dano. Everything matters. Here we go.
Camera is going to fall out the window. Let's not have that.
Story. Lone in the backfield. Spread.
58-52.
Will he head for the corner? Will he dive in the middle?
They're going to sweep
Pulls
it again.
it down. Counter.
Bennon
We haven't
has been
stopped
their
it yet.
counter punch.
They're going to keep running that counter to Bennon because we can't get him on the ground.
We talked about second half wrinkles, and Josh Rader came up with a good one. He coached magically in the second half and overtime of that win over Rudyard earlier this year. And Josh Rader and Joe Austin, they've been going at it for years, even in their 11-man days with Pickford and Engadine in the old E.U.P football conference.
So it's
The
wide
Panthers
open.
hit 60.
Newberry's got to come through. It's their turn. Can they do it in a minute 29? I guess we're going to find out. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see a kick to Raholly here.
Why not? Come on.
I dare you.
All right.
Here we
Newberry,
go.
your turn.
Your turn. Let's see what happens.
This was 26-26 at the half.
60-52.
And they somehow found a different level on both sidelines.
And it's just tough, hard play on both sides. You can look at that score and say nobody's playing defense, but that's not the case. Two high-powered offenses.
And two of the best in the land. Oh, high bounce. Luck climbs the ladder and goes and gets it. That thing just took a strange hop on Tally Cox, who broke down, and it shoots 8 feet in the air. And I don't know if Gabe Luck's ever jumped higher.
I've seen your captain steps up and saves
Good
the day, and we have good field position.
1:28 to go. 3 timeouts for the Tribe.
Here we go. Here we go. Hang on to your seats, folks.
Whole
Because I
playbook.
don't know if you can get any more exciting than this.
Whole playbook's open if you're the Tribe.
We saw something similar to this against St. Ignace, and we pulled it out. Can we do it again? Can Magic strike twice?
Indians will go twins here. Raholly up the middle, bottled up. Gain of 2. Clock runs with 1:23 to go.
Clock running. We don't want to waste time here. We have to show a little bit of urgency. Here we break the huddle and come to the line.
Trips now.
We'll be
with
under a minute
Raholly.
on this snap.
Oh, movement on the far side. Mohar got just a step early.
All right.
Shake it off.
Got to get ready to go. You can't let those things bother you here. Not at all. Get ready
Just
to
a
go.
quick little bobble. A stumble. He didn't even take a step.
Second and 14 now for the
Tried to
Indians.
catch himself, leaning too far.
Newberry's got 3 timeouts. There goes the clock. And
Taking
we're
a
under
lot
a
of
minute.
time here.
Get out of the huddle. Here we go.
Way too much time.
To the line of scrimmage. Trying to get organized.
Wow, and then we're slow coming to the ball. And then movement. Whistle. Timeout, Pickford.
They're going to put a few
44.
more seconds on. They're going to go back to 44 on the clock.
44 seconds. Newberry will still have all 3 timeouts. As Lady Luck got one more treat for the Indians. One of these teams will win this ball game. I don't think you can say either side will lose this ball game.
Here we go. Timeout's over. Both teams coming back to the field.
And coach, regardless of what happens in the next 44 seconds, we may see this ball game again.
Absolutely. That wouldn't surprise me a bit to see this ball game
How
again.
tough is 8-man football? 3 of the top 4 teams in the state will be in the same region, and maybe 4 out of the top 5.
Indians.
Nutkins, hard count.
Snap.
Looks. Quick
Throw.
snap.
Raleigh.
Oh, hook and ladder. Depew breaks
Gets
a tackle.
out of bounds.
Out
That's
of
a
bounds.
smart play.
Just
by
shy
Depew.
of the first down. And I said everything in the playbook on the table, even some stuff not in the playbook.
So we get a bunch of that back.
That's what's amazed me, too.
Stops.
Neither side has been derailed by a penalty.
No.
They've answered them.
Stop the clock. 38 seconds to go. Pickford leads 60-52. Lined up, twins left, twins right.
It'll be Nutkins.
Snap.
Corrals it. Looks. Pressure. Oh, deep. Miscommunication.
So we need to get a first down here, Dano.
That's the big goal. 4th down and 1.
34.7 to go.
They're right below you, Coach. You're right almost on the ball.
We still have our 3 first downs.
Or 3 timeouts.
Or 3 timeouts, I'm sorry.
I don't know if 3 first downs will help us. Maybe all at once.
So if we can't get out of bounds here.
Did we try to do too much there on 3rd and short?
Well, I don't think so.
Here we go. Ball game on the line. 4th and 1. Straight forward bubble. Fumbled snap. Newberry pounces on it. Oh, Pickford will get credited with the recovery.
Pickford
Hayden
recovers.
Rader on a fumbled snap.
Pickford recovers.
They would have had to stop anyway. They have to run a
60-52.
play. Newberry has 3 first downs. They can stop it and get one more crack at it.
They can.
Pavey comes off disappointed. I've seen this story before.
Got to use these
2 years ago.
Timeouts. Don't
Zach
manage
Klickner
the clock here. Stay
goes
focused.
right to Ethan Pavey. They'll take the snap here. Pickford has had 3 fumbles. They will give to Bennon straight forward.
Time, get him down.
Whistle timeout.
Timeout.
First one for the Indians.
We can't allow the first down here, Dano.
First down ends it.
2nd and 8. Indians still working at it.
And
Still
Pavey
a chance here.
gets a play off. Coach Klickner went and put his arm around him, pats him on the chest, and says, "We need you back in there."
Absolutely.
Because you know where they're going. They're going to pound the rock
Yep.
to pick up a first down. Ball at the 49. Pickford needs the 43 of the Newberry side for a first down. Tribe with 2 timeouts left. Unbelievable contest. Unbelievable matchup.
28 seconds to go.
Pickford,
Big down.
a first
here.
down away from a conference championship and an 8-0 record.
You got to tackle hard, and you got to pull at the ball right here, right now.
Newberry goes with a basic 5-man front. Story fights forward. The leg drive. The fight.
Great blocking
And
and great blocking.
It's
through.
enough
Great
for a
blocking
first down.
to the echo of the whistle by the Panthers.
Indians cannot stop it. And Pickford is going to escape town.
What a game,
with
Dano.
a 60-52 win. They reset the chains. They wind the clock. Joe Austin will not stop it. Tom Raholly probably didn't want to run it. He has to do it. And they're just going to come in. The Panthers take a knee. Pickford holds off Newberry. And a game that came down to the final minute. It was 2 years ago on this very night. Newberry on a fumble lost the game to the Panthers in overtime. And the message before anybody left the field was, we will be back and we will see them again. And they came back. They had to go to Pickford to do it, but they avenged that loss in the playoffs. But Newberry, before they can get there, are going to have to win a ball game here next week. But this was a fantastic showing between these two football teams.
It sure was. It's got to be a must-win now next week for the Indians. Pickford has St. Ignace. They're still vying for an undefeated season and placement for the playoffs. Congratulations to the Pickford Panthers, Dan. That's a heck of a ball club and a great ball game. Enjoyed to watch. Of course, I want our Newberry Indians to win, but I'm happy for the Pickford Panthers. They earned it. And our Indians, as you say, lots of football left to play, but you got to get that win on Saturday.
And it starts Monday. They got to come back fired up, focused, ready to go. This one can sting. Let it sting for a couple days. Let it stew, but come back, because guess what? This may be hard to believe. You're 5 wins away from a championship.
Right. That's right. You got to continue to play football. Lots of football to play. You wanted this one. You wanted it bad. But you continue to play. You continue to get ready, because there's so much ahead for these young men and these coaches. I hope you enjoyed this game, folks. I hope you can appreciate what you saw here and what you heard here this evening, because don't let it get lost on anything else, Daniel.
That's right. Pickford wins the JV contest as well. For Bruce Dake, who was with you earlier today, Steve Stifler producing that one, Jeff Puckett, I'm Dan Hardenbrook. Pickford wins it 60-52. And they will go back home for St. Ignace next week. I'll be there with the call for that one. And then Coach and I are back for Newberry and Manistee Catholic Central, a Saturday afternoon showdown. That's next weekend. Varsity only in that contest. It'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff here at the Newberry High School football field. And then next Sunday, we'll be live down at the Elks Club for the annual Selection
Don't miss
Sunday
that.
show.
It's going to be fun. We're going to spend some time with every player. It's going to be
good. We get ready for the postseason push. That's going to do it tonight from the Newberry football field. Pickford walks away winners in this one.